It's too late. I've already started.
Yep, now
I've
we're...
committed.
No, go, go, go!
Hello,
What?
ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sean. Welcome back to Fall of Lumos. A little bit of Spelljammer. I am also hosting with the Tiny Space Goblin. Uh, Thank you for being here. But we are joined by our fabulous players as we go ahead and cross through the stars on the search of danger, items, confusion,
Another
and
such
puns. And shenanigans.
Makers!
so many puns.
So many
Oh,
puns.
hey, now
I get a
we
weird
gotta
feeling when I walk
go-
into a bar.
I
Can anyone tell me what happened during last session?
Uh,
was actually trying to remember what the heck it was that we were...
Somebody became an illithid.
Oh, right, yeah, it was kind of a
I'd say
fuck around and
to it.
find out type day. Yes, we had a Aarakocra illithid.
Uh-huh. It was absolutely horrific to see, yes. But weirdly cool.
In the utilization of the one of Overhaul's components, one of our players was transported to a realm seemingly belonging to one of the shards still attached to the back of Overhaul, and in doing so had to be rescued by a tiny companion illithid. The
A chewinga?
Chawinga! The Chawinga.
There
A
we
little
go.
buddy.
Wingo, oh,
Chewinga, 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 chewinga.
And in doing so, provided him a little bit of a hint of what power can be offered to those who know of the land's abilities. And yes, he grew to a large size, grew tentacles out of his beak, which is a little uncomfortable. Now he looks a little bit like an octopus,
It's
and
scary.
had several other strange adorning changes to his body. Mutations, if you will. But the effect only lasts as long as his
Wild shape holds, so it must
wild
be
shape holds. So I can say after 3 hours, our wonderful friend has returned,
as opposed to the shenanigans.
as opposed to the shenanigans.
Shenaniganery.
took a little while for us to, like, logic that one out.
I will also say it took a lot of very careful, and I actually didn't do this entirely right. So let me go ahead and hit save real quick. It took a lot of very careful picking and choosing of how I was going to do this.
It took
But
a
if
very
you,
careful poking with a stick.
yes, it was a lot of poking with a stick.
Very specific
But-
sticks. Very careful poking.
Deliberate poking in
Exactly.
the right places.
Yeah.
But
Hey,
if you
are you
do-
still like planning on deciding to kill us all, or are you really just our friend, or what's going on here? Is this a
Oh,
cosmetic change? Have you gone through therapy? Is there surgery involved?
I like your hair.
Yeah, I do like your hair. Your beak's gone, but you know, the rest of you's okay.
you did find out that he still was able to hold his mind together speaking through one of his known languages of Druidic. But Miss, your Captain Amira had been able to transmute that your companion saw things when coming into contact with the body of the fallen Keratin Knight. A disturbing scene that was filled with oohs, ahs, and oh my's,
And what the fox?
and what the
Yeah, a little
fucks.
bit of that too, yes.
Well, at least it's no longer outside being an eyesore. Lowering
Can we
property
cut
value.
it up? Can we turn it into spell components? No, I'm not
I
psychotic suggesting.
I have actually told you about this a long time ago, and I don't think any of you guys actually remembered at all about this.
I'm
So,
sure we can turn it into something. So when I get a minute, I'll probably attempt.
so effectively, just to re-remind, the material that this entire skeletal structure is made out of is something called plague steel. I think the conclusion was it was like 7 units worth of plague steel,
Which
but
is
it,
valuable.
it can make very, very nice weaponry if used appropriately and crafted, effectively making poison weapons that are naturally poisonous.
I like all of these comments.
Um, but you guys have just left this body out in the front yard for the longest time. The children have begun, playing with
Making
it,
notes.
making things very uncomforting to the local. Property values have dropped a little bit more. We
I
won't
don't
talk about that
fucking
too
care
much.
about their goddamn property values.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, they were concerned about it. Okay, that's how they get their money to the school system.
Well, exactly. And we're supposed to be good neighbors. Last thing we need is a rotting corpse, though granted, we are
Yeah.
going to I
I
am
mean,
going
it
to
wasn't
prepare
the rotting.
I am going to be preparing a skull with a nice bullet hole through the middle to mount to our front door.
Oh,
Or
that's
above
where
it.
you're
No,
putting
above
it.
it.
Jesus.
It's okay. We'll fix things up real nice.
An entire
But
session will be us remodeling our house.
I hope
Mhm.
that happens.
Fantasy property value simulator or some shit.
Hey,
fantasy
this
property
is
value
probably the only
simulator.
way that some of us will ever be able to actually own and, disfigure the house in the way that we wish
Yeah.
to. So,
Yeah.
allow us our property management system.
If you don't mind me, please don't mind me.
As you guys also were finishing up your conversations with Captain Amira, she had let you all know that she feels it's about time that she takes a break from traveling the stars. As much as she'd love to go ahead and find out what kind of interesting things you all may get involved with, she'd like to actually take up a desk opportunity here in Omiya 6. It's a lot safer, and she'll at least give her time to go ahead and set a foothold somewhere else. She has handed the keys off to you all with your own ship now and wishes you all the well as you continue your journey out.
Indeed, all the well.
Yeah.
But you guys, after talking between each other, have all agreed, most of y'all agreed, that you guys would be heading in the direction of your current investigation, which is into the uh, assassination attempts onto the people of Omiya 6, the plasmoids, which seem to direct you towards the main planet of Abora, the home capital of the Coalition. And you guys were going to leave at dawn. So if there's anything last minute you need to do while you were here, I would advise you to do it now.
Do we have
As
health potions?
I think we have one each, courtesy of Nox.
Yes, we redistributed our wealth.
Indeed.
what about you and oh god.
I was gonna say, I know we redistributed the potions. Also, though, oh shoot, there was something else that we all wanted to be like, oh yeah, we got to do this before we forget.
So we probably forgot.
We forgore. As one does.
I'm gonna go check on what's left of the overload. See how it's doing.
Yes.
And
So if you'll actually now go check down into the ships and helms inside of your Discord, you'll actually now see Overhaul's data information.
Amazing.
Rogan will take this moment to go and purchase some supplies and various meat things for various creatures.
Is the worm
great.
coming along?
Well, we've clearly can't leave the worm by himself. It'd be terrible to have him terrorize Amara
The local populace.
and the local populace. So yeah, we will have to bring the space eel because now we're responsible for it.
Yep.
Hey, with
I
luck,
mean-
maybe he'll find some people to go face seal about with. You know, meet some new friends.
He's an eel. He's a space eel. It's right in the name. He should be in space.
Exactly.
He can just sort of, like, if he wants to stick around with us, he can stick around with us in space, where he belongs. His natural habitat.
Well, let's get after it then. Meet back in an hour or two.
so is what's left of the body then, Sean? Is it usable or is it?
It's still pilotable.
Okay, I'm gonna hop in it, pilot it back to our home base for now, and park it there for now.
Did you?
What are we gonna do? Throw a giant sheet over top of it?
Well, it needs 24 hours for someone to sync up with it, unless it's passed off. So he could just hand it off to Mira. But did
He
Mira's
handed.
leaving.
If I remember correctly,
Galleon is currently under control
Eris.
of Naya.
Yep.
I currently under the control of Overload. So I plan on dropping off Overload at the house, essentially, and basically handing it off to Naya, because that just sounds like a great... Or Amira, sorry. That just sounds like a great idea. And then I'll take control back of the Galleon back from Naya and proceed to check it over, make sure everything's shipshape for travel.
Nia did her best not to break anything, but she did hang out in the helm a little bit just to become accustomed in case it becomes necessary for her to do like some auxiliary piloting or whatever if something happens. Always good to get accustomed to things, and learning is never wasted.
Mhm.
She also spent some time talking to the people who, were displaced and what have you. Just generally checking out, making sure everyone's at least got a roof of some variety over their head, and yeah.
Let Naya, Amira know when I drop off Overload that if it is needed to help rebuild anything, feel free to use it as such.
Eris, you go ahead and hop into the seat of Overhaul and begin to power up its systems, immediately being greeted by
Reactor online. Sensors
And panic by the local populace.
Online. All systems nominal.
Mech Warrior. Such a great reference.
It works.
I still prefer Mech Warrior 3's login, but that's me personally.
you went ahead and took great care moving through the city. You also made note it does have a bit of a booster system that does allow you to fly, but at incredibly slow speeds. Probably a bit of a counteract to the fact that you're moving a large, heavy, two-stepped object. It doesn't technically get a good booster pack anymore. But as you progress through the city, you will get to see opportunities to help people move rubble here and there if you take that time.
I will. Seems like worthwhile expenditure of time. It'll also prove to people that the Overload is no longer against the city.
Some people are a little taken back, but when they see that you're actually helping reconstruct, they realize that they're not in immediate danger. Elnaya, you passing along the way to help kind of guide people away from the wreckage area also seems to bring comfort to quite a few as you head towards the docks, eventually meeting up with Klapnik and getting yourself familiarized with the systems, taking a moment to sit into the seat. And I think when you were practicing with Hunziker, it's the intense, weird feeling of, as they describe it, dipping yourself in a warm bath when you've been very cold. It's
Very tingly.
a very numbing sensation, very tingly all over, as you feel your senses immediately expand to the entire ship. Wiggler, you gotta stay put. Okay, Goblin?
He will not. How
He
dare
will
you
not.
ask this of him?
Rovan, you've retreated back to mix meats to purchase more variety of food stuffs
One
and
never
things.
knows when one will have to offer a peace offering to some irritated creature.
He'll inquire about your opinion on newest soups and flavors that he is currently brewing inside of the large pot and cauldron.
Rovan will sample and give the various flavors a rating.
I need another chance die.
Okay, 1D100 coming up. 66.
Oh my.
Okay. Okay. Uh Do I even have something for this? I guess so. You go ahead and there's gonna be a momentary change of music for this one. You drink in the soup, and you feel the flavors start to tingle in your mouth, and they tingle faster and faster. It kind of feels like sizzling, like if you ate Pop Rocks, but you never had Pop Rocks in this world, so it's very odd. And eventually, you kind of look towards the one person in the room, which is Mick, and suddenly, lightning leaves your mouth, striking Mick for a total of
Oh no.
30 points of lightning damage,
You
Oh,
just
no.
killed the chef!
and Mick goes down.
Oh no!
Well, there
Medic!
As-
goes this
as you-
conversation.
As you see this man lay on the ground, completely and utterly fried.
No! Oh no! He loved the soup. He loved the soup, and the soup killed him. Oh, this is not super.
Rovan, do you have a
Oh.
response to this?
Rovan
Oh
will,
no!
shocked, Rovan will go over and attempt to
Really?
use Cure
Really?
Wounds on the chef.
Okay, we're gonna do another chance die for Mick.
Oh no, Mick.
Mick-Mac Paddywhack.
Surprisingly enough, as you attempt restorations onto Mick, you can hear from underneath the cough, too much coriander.
Agreed, that one was a little bit spicy. However, it was an electrifying experience that will certainly wake you up.
I hate all of you.
He has like a soft laugh underneath. The finger kind of points up towards you. I like this one. Can you put the out to lunch sign up for me?
He sure
I will
is.
ensure to get you the rest and recover. Yeah, well, we will ensure that you have a period of rest and recovery. Would you like me to help you anywhere in the shop so that you may do that?
No. Legs haven't
Oh.
started moving yet. It'll be okay. Just put the lid on. Don't let it go bad.
Very well. And Rovan will do as requested and inquire, are you sure you do not require additional assistance?
The hand kind of moves up like slowly in a thumbs up manner, but that's all you can see over the other side of the pot.
Then I bid you a good day and a farewell, sir. And Rovan will exit the shop, ensuring to flip the sign around to closed.
Rovan almost committed a murder.
Okay.
Excellent.
That's
Then.
Inadvertent
Here we go.
murder.
That escalated very quickly.
It sure did. Holy shit. That
Uh,
was-
Hey, so I was about to say, who do we have left? But we've already Noct and Vale. Is there anything left you're going to do in the city before dawn?
Yes,
And y'all will head out.
I need to go buy a new chirp.
You need to go buy a new chirp. Don't you have a chirp?
I discarded mine. After the battle.
Yes.
Oh. Somewhere down in the depths of the harbor, there's a fish trying to use your chirp.
I kind of wish I could say that I booby trapped it so that if anyone tried to tamper with it, it'd give them a jolt. I didn't though.
I will say it's a fairly easy process for you to go down into the registrar's office, and having already passed through at some point, you kind of know the paperwork to kind of go through and get a new chirp. It doesn't take long for them to go ahead and put your arm into the same similar device that Vale Rovan and Ilnaya had experienced before, measuring out your arm's length, and then they, after a small period of time, return back with. Did you have a particular color that you wanted it to be? They do have several different colors of leather.
Can it be black with red kind of stitching and like the secondary details is all in red? Actually, wait, can't you press digitate that?
Yeah,
You
but then
can.
have to hold it.
Okay, no, then I think I remember.
They
Naya
just have
has-
it in black right now.
Yeah, okay, we black and Nox will have to talk to Naya.
But yeah, no, the process is really simple. You fill out the appropriate paperwork, pay the very small fee, basically almost nothing at this point.
Okay, good.
But they are able to offer to you. Do you need the upgrade?
Yes, I'd like the upgrade,
And well, that will cost you 100 gold.
and that's to be able to communicate with
That-
everyone, right?
That is the communication option.
How hard would that be for me to construct, or to build into it?
It's effectively doing the sending spell.
Which is something my class is familiar with.
You could give it a shot. You want to see how arcanely in depth you are about it? You can do an arcana roll.
Okay.
I know.
Do your best.
I'm going to put a number in my head. I'm just going to shoot a number in my head, and you have to pass it.
And I get to use my tools, right, or just a straight arcana?
Modifying a chirp does require you to kind of go into it, and it would be. I would say you'd still need to spend maybe about like 50 gold just to get 50 to 25 to 50 gold just to get the spirit wood required to make the component.
That makes sense.
If you're going to make it yourself, it would cut the price in half.
Well, let me put it this way: with my multi-tool or my all-purpose tool, and my incredible arcana, 28.
After your years of experience as a spelljammer, you feel like you'd be able. I can go down to the dollar store and get this kind of stuff. Thank you very much. More so, you just needed the base components, and then you were able to kind of work from there. It's going to take you about a day to get everything working correctly. But yeah, you could definitely fashion this.
Perfect. Any chance? Well, okay. At some point, I'll have to go over or send you a list of things I want to be able to do with these chirps, and customize mine. But the project list, I need to make a fucking notepad of projects I have to do. Jesus.
All right there, Percy.
It's okay.
Why'd you write nuclear bomb?
Oh yeah, that's right. I need
Let's
to.
say that Vale, if she finds out about that kind of shit, will just shank him. It'll be easier.
That's right. I need to get my anti-tank rifle going too. Anyway, so how much
That's
will the
okay.
materials cost?
The materials will roughly cost you still about 50 gold. And that's just because spirit wood cannot be replicated other than having to procure it specifically from natural sources. There's not really any all natural a more synthesizable material for that.
That's fair.
But you're still cutting the process in half. You're effectively taking the labor out.
Absolutely. It's half off. So with that, how long do we have until we leave?
You guys were planning to leave the next morning.
Arguably, you should have some time during our journey. It is a rather long one.
Yes, actually, more so, I was thinking. I want to, for a bit tonight, cook up a bunch of the meat that we have and hand it to Amira and just like essentially sell what you can off for some more money. Like this is going to be high quality stuff. Just try to get a bit more money for us. I'm realizing we're burning through cash far more than we're getting it in.
What was it that you're selling off?
Food essentially. Whatever I need to buy to make this gourmet alligator meat, and even gourmet alligator meat just to start off and get my skills sharpened. That'd be 72 pounds of croc meat.
Oh my god. She'll be able to procure some spices that she thinks may help. She's no master cook herself, but she can go around and at least be able to talk to people to get to get an assortment ready for you.
Perfect. Oh wait, we can put that in this bag of colding, can't we?
You can.
That will preserve it, right?
Yep.
That will.
All right, then if she can get the spices for me, that would be awesome. I can do on the ship. Then, am I able to? So I'm not going to cook tonight. Am I able to prepare any of the hide and skins that we have?
Why were you planning on hiding away with them?
Ha! I need to put in a joke option. Oh my gosh, little boy.
What is the small child doing now?
He is repeated. He's like, "Father, I demand passy, but I will also spit it out if you put your hand anywhere but in my mouth." Okay, so what you do is you put the passy back in the mouth, and then you cover it with that. Then it gets stuck. There we go. All right, we're good. So, you could start process of tanning the hide. This is the dragon hide,
It will
or what?
be
What?
it will be dragon hide. It'll be croc hide. Essentially, I'm pretty certain that all of them require some
He's
time.
going to seriously hide away about all this.
Oh no, it's
Oh
gonna be
my god,
out in the open.
Accident guy.
I know we have
my
some
head.
mutaskin, mutamanal skin,
The
mutadriders.
the mutamamal skin is probably funny enough the second hardest to work with because it is almost kind of like a rubbery mix of components of different textures. You're moving with some slimy bits right here. You're moving with some rubbery bits over there. Everything seems to almost still be alive, even though it's been long dead for a while, and that's a little unsettling. But it's going to take a little bit of time for you to kind of break down the components of this particular type into a good usable skin. The hardest of all will be the dragon skin.
All right, then in that
Um,
case, I'll save those because I seems like I may have to be around them a bit more often to do. I'll just go with the gator's hide and let it see if I can prep it tonight and hang it before going to bed.
okay, do I guess a tool check
Yes,
because
I will go ahead and go to the next person. I will
sure.
do the roll and give you the info of it.
Vale, how do you spend your last night in the city before you headed out? If you do.
Um, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go see if I'm
Oh,
gonna go see if the Stay Together is open.
Okay. Do, 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 do. I have literally so many maps I have to scour through just to find the one I'm looking for. And then I need to.
Hello, which map are you looking for?
This, that. Oh my god, Swan, you need to like. I know, but I. This is why I overly prepare. All right, we'll switch this to that.
You know, if we can't see what you're doing, it's really hard for us to congratulate you.
I know, thank you.
Just wanted to remind you.
You spend the time heading through the city and eventually making your way down the similar passageways, passing through the several different cubbies and holes, passing the couple few held delves, and eventually making your way towards the stay together. As you head inside, you find the door is unlocked and are able to pass through the quiet cavern and eventually making it to the large cement walls that make up the building.
Is anybody in front of the door?
There's no one currently in front of the door,
But it looks like it's open.
but it does appear to be open.
I'm just gonna go in.
Okay.
What do I see? Is it all lit up and lovely or something?
It's actually quiet. You'll find that all of the lights that sit on the table, usually producing the same illusionary effect of additional individuals, is not currently in place right now. It is, for all intents and purposes, a quiet time.
So nobody's here.
Nobody's standing at the door. No.
And nobody's inside.
The bar is currently unattended.
So it essentially looks like it did the other day.
Yeah, but this time it's not locked.
Yay, progress. I'm just gonna call out the names of the folks that I actually remember, because I totally remember everybody's names. I haven't completely forgotten any of them.
All right, let's go. Come on. You told me you were going to force me to remember stuff.
That's
Let's
assuming
go,
I
Vale.
a particular variety of
Feet.
techniques. So, I didn't, so deal with it. Also, if I were... Fuck it, whatever. Is anyone home? Or are you all dead because none of you showed up the other day? Or if you did show up, it was a piss poor showing.
Vale, as you call out, you don't see any responses. But give me a perception check real quick.
$17.
With a 17, you do notice that you can pick up a blue light from your pocket.
From my pocket.
From your pocket.
Alright, I'll pull out whatever it is that's potentially blue lighting.
As you pull out from your pocket the black candle,
Didn't that thing technically only cast Major Illusion?
do you want to just cast Major Illusion?
No, that's technically what it did, if I recall.
Do you want it to just cast Major
No,
Illusion?
technically I want it to do other things, like contact
Oh.
the fuckers if I could get a hold of them, but I don't know
Well,
what it does.
if you let me finish narrating, I would have told you what it did. As you hold up the candle that is currently lit from your pocket, you'll see as if wind were blowing through. The wick of the candle seems to be pointing towards the kitchen.
Alright, I'll follow that.
As you follow the flame into the kitchen, and I will move you, you'll see it actually starts to turn and move towards the barrel that you've seen Samantha and Davin step in and out before.
Alright, I'll knock on the top of the barrel.
There's no knockback.
Well, no, but I figured, like, if that's a door, then I might as well be polite.
That's not what I wanted. I don't like this. There we go. There is no response back, but you do find that the lid is unsealed.
Fuck it, I'll head down.
You go ahead and remove. You go ahead and remove the lid, and look at the jelly-like wine that you've previously seen Davin and Samantha pull from before, with an uncomfortable feeling as you slip inside. It's a cool sensation as you step into the barrel. and you feel yourself dip down. You look up as you can see the light of the surface slowly disappear and then eventually black. As you fall for a quick second, you eventually land in the same room you had been previous. And you see Davin and Samantha there, both smiling and crossing their arms.
Lovely. Hello. I did knock. Nobody answered.
We heard you. We made sure that we heard you, is what Samantha will say, and Davin will look over and say, we just wanted to make sure you knew your way back.
Indeed. So, it's pretty quiet up there.
Well, we can't usually talk down here if it's busy hours. Devin will let you know as he kind of smiles and be like, plus, let's be honest, my back is hurting from running through the sewers.
He did.
It took a while to direct your friends where they needed to go in order to stop that thing.
Oh my god.
Thank you.
Nia,
They
wherever
were-
she is, just sort of looks up like someone's talking about me.
No. He's talking about our
Oh.
oh, what's her name?
Yai.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yard, yeah.
Oh. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to assume that you lot were, assisting Yai, then.
We were aware that Aspen Beam was going to be making her move, and we did mention we would be assisting. But we're not really, as Samantha will pick up, we're not really into the public spectacle. So
Are you
we went a little.
suggesting what I did was a public spectacle? You did suggest that she needed to be publicly dealt with.
And she'll kind of look towards you and be like, oh, we absolutely agree. You've tarnished her reputation. And Davin will speak back up. And we're happy to go ahead and say that the last Moonbeam is currently sitting in jail, awaiting trial.
Sorry, there's another one? I
No,
thought she's dead.
same one.
They revived her?
Seemingly,
How?
she was not.
She was inside
They both.
the stomach of a lunar dragon. I helped pull her out. Got a really uncomfortable dagger while we were doing so.
Necromancy spells aren't that hard when you go ahead and know a few people. And we were handed a foot.
Ah, I see.
One does suppose that they need a foot up every so often. Hello, cat. Are you gonna, like, yell at me again? Sorry, the cat was
A
yelling
cat
at me.
suddenly appears out of nowhere and starts screaming banshee things at you.
She literally did. It was like, ah! It's like, where the fuck are you? What's going on?
Davin will,
Turning on
though,
my-
hand you a what looks almost like a sketch portrait, and it does show a picture of Aspen Beam. What you also will notice is that, and a little barbarically, as you look to see what appears to be her hands being shackled together, they are not entirely shackled together, but shackled through.
Oh my.
Well, you know, spellcasters. Also,
Yeah.
she destroyed a shit ton of things. I don't have that much, you know, sympathy. Well, seems as though she got what she, deserved. Excellent. I'd love to be back in town for that particular form of, show trial.
Well, we can assure you that right now the public believes that she's gone, and Samantha will speak up, and that's for the better, because it means we don't have to have a trial right now. She's already done enough damage, and she was willing to go ahead and wipe this entire city out if she had to make that choice, all for the name of greed.
Yes, not bloody truth.
But you did the part that we asked you to, and for that, we couldn't be more appreciative.
Pleased to be of service, and good to know you two survived. Had me a wee bit scared when nobody showed up and I had to break in quietly.
Davin will smirk and be like, you broke my doorknob.
I did not, sir. That was some other lout. I will have you know. I wouldn't let anyone
You may
else...
be You may be a thief, but you have some shoddy work sometimes, and it still was a broken doorknob.
I was a little bit in a hurry, and nobody gave me any way of contacting you without coming into your secret sanctum, which I figured was a bit too impolite. My apologies for your doorknob.
She will. Samantha will kind of laugh a little bit to herself, listening to the two of you kind of bicker back and forth. Either way, it was a good spectacle, and the public still has no idea that we're around, exactly as they should.
Well, all the better. Honestly, I just came to check on you two and make certain you two were still alive.
Well, if Scarlet Rose was around, and Davin will kind of like look a little sad to himself, and as Samantha speaks up, she would be proud.
Sorry, does
This
Scarlet
was the,
Rose ring any bells for me?
they had mentioned before in a previous conversation with you about their tenets and their beliefs. Scarlet Rose was one of their founders.
Ah, and they said she was looking on and she'd be proud?
If she had seen this, she would have been proud.
Ah, well. Glad to see that I did right by your founders, and by you lot.
I'm thinking my next response. I hope you don't think we're still after your dragon in any way.
When he comes back, you guys can deal with him, assuming that ever gets to that point.
Well, I don't think the last time we spoke was nearly 9 days ago. Tomorrow should be a big day for you both of you.
He's not back yet.
Dragons are resilient. You've met one at least that we knew.
Hmm.
Yeah, I had a feeling you lot knew him. Or two, as it were.
It's important to know people in high places, and he doesn't seem to be like one that wants to share secrets often with everybody.
Seems as though, you know him well.
He knew one of our other founders for some time,
Long live
and
the
so
tend to.
we have a we have a mutual relationship. We play eyes and ears, and he does the little actions here and there. Sometimes it's coordinating recovery efforts.
Little action.
Sometimes,
Somehow I don't think he's capable of little all that often.
Fucking key.
or sometimes he sends a group of adventurers to help with some of the work we need. We both had mutual interests. He wanted to see Omiya 6 safe, and we wanted to see Aspen beam out of power.
That definitely counts as a mutual interest, I would suggest.
Well, we'd hope that you go ahead and continue your work there, Acolyte. Remember, we're only there to balance the power. We don't push one side or another. Eventually, there'll be another Aspen beam, but we'll let the tides turn as they may.
And depending on the day and where I am, I'll be there to take that one down too.
They both kind of smile. So you'll be off then, I suppose?
I've got a plague doctor who seems to appreciate murdering slimes for fun. That doesn't fly. And apparently he does, so he needs to start flying off cliffs.
Well, should you ever need to, and Samantha will speak up, should you ever need to look for anything or see if there's anything we can offer, your candle can give you a little bit of a hint towards politely left information or assistance, if you catch my drift.
I.e., I might be able to contact other members of your order?
Or find where others have been before.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Speaking of which, and Davin will kind of dip into his pocket, the higher council went ahead and accepted the other member. You can let her know we will always appreciate any more help, especially from someone who knows you, Acolyte, and he will hand you another candle.
Oh! Well, I'll definitely be passing this on to her. I suppose having
And
a bard of excellent repute never has a problem.
And Samantha will hand you a small bag of gold and say, for the troubles that you went through and the cuts and bruises you had to go through. Sorry about the explosion. I couldn't stop that one.
You stopped her, and being a bit of a fly on the windshield doesn't necessarily suit many of our group, but you know, we did what we needed to do. And we'll do it again.
Well,
Thank
if
you.
anyone were to, they'll both kind of smile. Well, if anyone needs to know us, what's your name, Acolyte?
You assume I have one.
They both give a very light smile. We're glad to have you on board.
Feelings mutual. I gotta go. Good to see you both still live. And I'll take my leave.
And they'll both do effectively a bit of like a hand salute to themselves as they watch you moving back up along the ceiling and up into the black open hole. You feel the depth and the jelly-like sensation of the wine that you had been in previously as you float back up towards the surface, which is a little funny because you need oxygen in your lungs to float and you don't have any oxygen. So you are just floating
I'm
on your own.
definitely not going to sit there and like challenge the creepy jelly wine and its physics here. I'm just not going to look at that and go, "Oh yes, I need to think about how this works."
And you eventually make your way back to the surface. As you get back into the stay together, you will start to notice that the illusionary effects start to come back into play, to making the place more lively and hospitable. But you'll also notice as you step away, each of the figures does the same salute to you, effectively looking as if they're taking two of their fingers, their pointer and their middle finger, and putting it across their chest, as they all seem to salute you as you walk away. At the door, you'll notice the guard doing the same one. His name was Shet.
Wait, his name is Shit, right?
His name, yep. If you remember all of his brothers, who equally so,
Yes,
do the
I
same
remember a
salute towards you,
ridiculous amount of like poop jokes being involved with this situation.
and his name was Shet.
Well, shit.
I didn't say that.
I couldn't do that, but yeah.
It's okay. Thank you for reminding me. I will give him something akin to a similar salute and a nod and inform him that it's good to see him back at the door and make my way back. Probably to go find Naya and inform her that she's been accepted.
Hmm.
And he will take his place as looking like the front door drunk, as you head back into the city. And eventually, I suspect you all will be meeting together. Where, at like at the home or towards the docks?
Hmm.
I mean, I'm gonna guess you guys want to go sleep first.
One would hope.
Yeah.
I would hope, but I don't know what about the rest of these people.
Sleep.
There's plenty of time to sleep on the ship. We can sleep in shifts. If I might remind you all, we are under a timeline.
That's true.
Exactly. And there's plenty of beds on the ship.
That's
He
also
can't technically remind any of us about that. He doesn't have a fucking chirp.
Who?
Bro,
There's like a weird sibling rivalry that doesn't technically exist, but also does exist at the same time. And it's adorable
dude,
and funny at the same
stop
moment.
calling it things it isn't.
Shh.
I'll be over here.
hurting your siblings.
I wasn't
And
aware
as you
that I had a long sister.
Please don't assume that I'm anything like that.
as you
I've
all
only assumed the lost part.
Yes, lost, as in get.
Yeah. Now, girls, you're both
God.
pretty.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ain't it great that only one of us was trying to get there?
As all of you, go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry, Sean.
No, you're fine. I will tell all of you that as your night continues on, you procure your necessary materials, taking the time to fill the ship. A couple people have actually, even at the docks, noticed that you guys have been moving quite a few bits of cargo onto. Did you guys ever? You guys named it the Problem?
Probably.
I don't remember. You guys never named the galleon.
The unlikely solution.
I like that.
I thought it was like last call leads to problems and problems lead to last call.
Yeah, something like that. We did. It was quite witty.
I wouldn't necessarily
something
suggest
anyway.
witty.
But you guys all take the time to eventually make your way towards something. Towards the docks.
Oof. Lack of background.
Oh, is there no background?
There it is.
Oh, okay.
It's just loading, probably.
This is the old sheet, so I apologize. I don't have the new one up. I will let you all know that you guys take the time to fill the galleon. Now, are you guys taking both the last call and your new galleon, or are you just leaving your just taking the galleon
Yeah, just going with the crew.
Nah.
with your crew? You finally actually get the goblins and Dag to coordinate together and to stop moving cargo between the two because there was no concisement over are you taking one or the other. The Hadozi have all been on break watching this going on, but the moment that Nox and Vale arrive, seemingly straighten up immediately at the risk of being thrown into the darkness below.
Oh, not that mean.
Oi, you lot, get moving. I want everything off this damn ship and onto that one. We leave in the morning. Let's go.
My goodness.
Bam!
Well, okay then.
I want the
I
cargo
ran across the
moved.
house
Get
roof.
get yourself comfortable. Let us know if there's anything specific we need to get. You have 3 hours. Let's move.
Yes, ma'am.
Goblins,
see
you're
all
fine. Dozies, get moving.
the goblins in their liquidized group fashion, moving equipment and everything from one to another. Obviously, not stripping the last call Baron, but taking whatever main supplies you want off of it. Do you guys take the armaments off?
Oh, off the last call onto the galleon? Yes, that would have been.
Yes,
I would have told him to do that a long time ago.
and that was the mangonel, and you also had a catapult.
Yep.
A light catapult. Okay. So sorry, sir. I'd let go for 30 seconds and you were upset. Moving these things across, Klapnik will also salute you, Nox, as he moves his equipment happily into position. Thank you for once again allowing him on board for the 30th time today as he progresses into his place back on the ship, holding the blunderbuss, waiting and ready. As you guys prepare to pack up, you'll eventually see Yai and Rayleigh approaching y'all from the decks.
At this point, John, I think I'd be at the ship already once I've dropped.
Oh yes, all of you guys are there. I'm so sorry. This is an unupdated one, but yes, you guys are all there at this point.
I'm just saying I'll dropped off Overload and I'll come back to the ship right now. I'm assuming, so I'll be here prior to them showing up.
Now, did you put Overload on the ship?
No, it's at the house.
Okay, I just did. You said you were dropping it off. I was like, where are you dropping it off?
Yeah, I was dropping it off at the house and transferring control over to Amira, and then.
Oh, you're leaving overall here?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I haven't got all those fucking shards. Of course we're leaving it here.
With leaving instructions to Amira to use it to help rebuild if required. So.
I may have pulled one
Okay.
shard out, so.
You were allowed to take the green one. All the others were mine based on the fact that I just want them. and people
And
can
I have no
count.
longer any opposition to the crystals being removed or anything of that sort.
Good. I'm taking them out. I will have done that before I got there.
I wrote all the information for overhaul and prep that you were gonna use it. I see
Oh,
how
we
it
are
is.
we are gonna do it. It's just not right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's untested. It could be trapped for as far as we know.
Need to have more time in the cockpit before I take that into battle.
So yeah,
But I'll
I'm
have
taking the
taken
crystals. All of
retaken
them.
control of the ship from Naya if Naya's willing.
I will, of course, hand it back.
And
You
I'll
go
proceed
ahead
to
and
get in the chair, check over the ship, make sure everything's running smoothly.
you. I'd like to believe that you get into the chair and feel a little uncomfortable. You have to reach down and pull the lever and scoot
I
it
was
back
thinking
a
the same
couple
thing.
times because you realize
Naya,
that
you're so
Naya
short.
has moved it. Naya has moved it up too far. Even though you don't technically need a window to look through.
I'll hit the little button for driver 1.
You feel it slightly slowly back up a little bit. The cup holder moves back into place. You have to fix the rear view mirror for a second.
Review projector.
Damn it.
I'll hear it come through in the chirp. Alright, everyone. Welcome back to the ship again. Hopefully everything is in ship shape. You guys address you all get the goblins and everything sorted in terms of where
They're
everyone's
going.
staying, all weapons are checked. Ship is overall in good capacity. We're ready to depart when you guys are comfortable.
Cargo's being moved as we speak. Hidozi are going to have to figure out where the hell they're sleeping. We're going to have to figure out where the hell we're sleeping. I'm assuming all the goblins can share a bed.
Dog pile on rocks.
So for the clarification, you're having all the goblins share one singular bed
I thought there'd be a bigger bed.
for
I don't know
12
how
people.
they're not. They're tiny.
They move like a unit, ma'am.
I think
I didn't know they're all gonna
In
like
their own room, and all of
they're
them
all
can
gonna
have
snuggle
hammocks.
together.
we'll buy a bunch of nets and hammocks and promise them that when we have a chance, they'll all have proper beds. Otherwise,
Damn straight. All of them Murphy beds. Pop, 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 pop.
I heard a zipper in the background for a second.
fuck off.
I was thinking they'd run out of shelves or something. We'd have like a section of shelves, and then it would be like zip, 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 and it would be a shit ton of Murphy beds. They just fold out of the wall. Look, this is what I was picturing in my head. Okay, don't make me feel bad about it.
It's fine. I'm just laughing a little bit at the same time, just from the image of you all get one singular bed. It's just a hammock. All right, gentlemen, we've prepared for this day. All of them scrunch into the same hammock at the same time. Perfect. Everyone okay? Clown carning their way in.
Vale's gonna go back to ordering things that haven't been done around. I see you! Get off the merchandise! Get moving!
They would immediately all like, back to work.
Scary, scary person. From under a hood.
The Hadozi also equally making sure to be active in between.
I don't want you guys to just be ridiculously active. I want work getting done! Now!
I think she's having a bit too much fun.
Having a crew is new for her.
Having friends is new for her.
Rayleigh and Yai would start
I'm
to
gonna go get a drink now to like cover the fact that stung.
would have met up with y'all, and
Asshole!
I think she was yelling that at me for what it's worth.
Rovan, when do you arrive to the ship? I'm trying to keep track of everyone in my head here. We have lost Rovan.
Rove and boat.
Sorry, it was
Eric-
muted. Let's try that again. So Rovan will arrive pretty close to when they're looking to take off, trying to spend as little amount of time on the ship as possible. It's a bit crowded for his taste and a bit busy.
It's a big ship.
He will arrive with Eel in tow, as we clearly cannot leave this one unsupervised and without snacks. Yes, that's right.
That wasn't creepy at all.
And where would you go ahead and direct your eel to be? There are technically 4 levels to the ship. Um, being one, the farthest down being the cargo bay.
You may move where you feel most comfortable. Just stay out of the way. You and I are very much passengers aboard this vessel.
Before it seems to slink down into the depths. You hear the screams of several goblins as they're pushed to the side, and as the tail whiplashes and disappears beneath the decks. There's a breaking of glass somewhere, the moving of some boards, and eventually, after a solid 5 seconds of minor chaos, quiet.
And pieces once again return to the vessel. Let us be off.
You're mean to our crews. Good God.
Robin, can you fix the holes you just put in with that guy, would you?
I don't see any holes.
I felt holes. I know they're there. Fix them.
By the way, Eris, you feel the eel has taken a space in the cargo hold, effectively in one of the darker sectors.
He's welcome to it.
Otherwise, everything looks good. Rayleigh and Yai seem to wave to y'all as they stand together, looking down,
I'll come through on the.
looking up.
I'm assuming there might be a speaker system on board. I'll come to the speaker system for the goblins and the. What was the other ones?
The Hadozi.
Hadozi. The serpent has made home in the cargo hold, so if you're going in there, just take care not to disturb him.
All the goblins do the shh motion together. A hive mind of goblins. As Dag will go ahead and ensure that the ropes appropriately start to get unleashed, either preemptively or unpreemptively. I don't know. Ilnaya, have you and your brother made on board?
Yep. Nia and Mortis probably spent a little longer. Just fiddling around. Nia probably wound up signing a few more autographs. They probably picked up some more supplies too. I think. Would there be anywhere in time to buy healing potions?
We're this is over the course of we're approaching towards dawn. So yeah, if you want to go buy healing potions, you can.
Oh, this time of night.
What exactly kind of prices are you? What are you looking for specifically? Are you looking for just standard, greater, superior, supreme?
Nia's probably going to actually be up really late because I think she's going to be playing one last gig just for the road.
Oh damn. Okay. Well, let's do
mean,
this then.
That is how
Where do you play?
hard do.
Where do you play your finale concert?
Almost certainly the Drippy Barrel, just because Nia likes the place, and it was the place she played her first gig in town. So symmetry. Bards love symmetry.
The leaky cup.
Yeah, the holy flagon.
The holy flat. Oh my god.
You started it.
Mm-hmm.
You did.
I need I need a performance roll, and since you're doing this, and people are starting to pick up that this may be one of your last performances, you did sign a couple of letters and letting people know you're going to be on your way. Some people have actually gone ahead and taken the time to leave their current post just to go kind of follow you back over to the Drippy Barrel. When word eventually makes it there, they've already set up a position for you. You actually have a tiny crowd behind you already following through because of your outgoing, I was going to say personification, but farewell. Anyone who's known about the underground artist that is Ilnaya has been very interested to know where is she playing last, if this is your last concert here. It's like if Taylor Swift was playing oh my god, down the street. We all have to go right now. Call grandma. But grandma said, call grandma right now. Get her on the phone. Tell Jimmy that he needs to get here. You do see Jimmy in the crowd this time, and he is waving to you.
Nia waves back, grinning. strums her lute, but generally gets everyone, all like she works the crowd a little bit before she starts playing. And all right, hang on. I really need to this over.
Did we all end up there as well? Or we all or elsewhere at the moment?
If y'all would follow her, I will absolutely accept that.
So 18.
Did she let us know about the
18.
farewell tour?
Oh,
Did
I
you
figure
let-
Nia would be. Yeah, I figure she would. It's like, yeah, I'm just gonna play one last gig, because.
I'd be there.
Elnaya, how do you
show up as well.
perform your last gig here as the crowd listens very closely to you at the Drippy Barrel? They don't really have a stage, but they put a very nice comfortable chair, and your brother has always taken a front seat. You notice that there's at least a crowd of 50, if not more people. Some people actually trying to look into the windows. People are standing outside trying to just look inside. Your friends have actually all taken to their same seats that they were sitting before, having been reserved and started to be fed immediately by Mama. I. It's been so much. Mama Dex, Misa once again trying to remind her about costs of food and living, but Anta also sitting in the distance, happily watching as you're here. How do you perform your last play here in Omiya?
I'm gonna add to it as well. I'm gonna do my cast gust and just give her like a light hair blowing, kind of like a breezy look. Add to
Nia,
effect.
Nia, taking the opportunity, silently prestidigitates some little sparkles in with the breeze. So she's, so it looks fairly magical, which it is, but
Nox is even going to go over and use one of his abilities, and he's going to touch nails and have them shine lights in her direction, creating a mood. We're going all out.
To further add to it, I'm gonna cast fog cloud as well, but make it like more closer to the ground, as per se, to make it like a little fog machine kind of effect.
Oh, this is delightful. We're all getting in on it.
Vale, you feel movement from your pocket as you notice Spirit is actually changing the colors of the fireplace behind Elnaya to kind of shifting color back and forth with his prestidigitation.
She's not even here, damn it! But that's adorable.
That's so precious.
Your spirit's doing funky things too.
He's helping.
You just see the tiny hands poking out from her pocket and just little like bits of light and magic coming off. It looks like little screws because it's from the skull that Noxon made, slowly moving down into the fire, and with each little bit, the fire seems to kind of just spurt for a second a new color, and then green, and then followed by a red, followed by a play. Elnaya, you are playing to your best. You feel your magic kicking in as you feel the flutters of butterflies inside. You are definitely feeling the spirit of the lady in white deep down inside. You see the joy and happiness. To you, what you can see, everyone else sees a dead guy. Of your brother who sits front row to your biggest fan, a little still more tired than usual, but still the one looking up to you most as you play one of your greatest songs, feeling your fingers move across the strings. The crowd roars into absolute chaos to listen in. The doors start to even almost kind of like bend for a second because people are like, oh my god, she's playing, I have to watch this right now. Drinks are flying off of the tavern. It is an incredible performance late at night. It is 2 goddamn in the 2 a.m. in the goddamn morning, and no one gives a shit.
A damn straight.
And you guys get a free meal. And I was trying to figure out.
Ruin pockets all of it for the space eel.
That
Seems logical to me.
Apropos.
Rovan, having you picked your favorite wall that you have been up against before.
If
But
you look really
otherwise,
carefully, you can almost see the shape of the Robin. Almost.
Ilnai, in a donation from the crowd, because you did well, you receive 98 pieces of gold.
Dang.
Oh damn!
Mhm.
Well,
As a
now
tip
it's just
jar
gonna
magically
sink
seems to
forever.
form, and people immediately start to fill it. But the crowd is absolutely loving it,
Nia
and you
having
almost
a great
feel
time.
the pain in the plasmoids as they see you go.
Oh, I'll be back. Just keep a spot warm for us. Nia leaves like 15 gold for the trouble and everything, and I mean she's like at least her share of the assorted meals and things. It's just I don't know. It feels like the kind of thing you do for a really good host like that.
Well, with the magic of Spirit changing the colors, Nox doing his performances, Eris using his wind to pick up a little bit of a storm on the inside to keep the wind blowing, you playing a great performance at this time, it is a spectacle. A spectacle so much that when you finally get down from the chair from playing from your best performance, they actually take it away and put a note on it saying Ilnaya has played on this chair and put up on the wall. Kind of like an Elvis Presley was here kind of moment. In fact, even Misa's like, "Mom, you have to take that down." No. People come to see this.
Young one has much to learn about marketing strategies.
Marketing.
And what a great night it
Roy,
was.
Roy, Ishtadem, Ishtadem.
Eventually, you guys will take the time to get back to your. That wasn't exactly the music I was going to go for, but thank you very much. No, we're good. We're going to stick with this one. You guys eventually make it back onto the ship. The morning has come. It is time to go ahead and disbarge. Oh, did you buy any healing potions?
Yeah, Nia probably on the way back tried to find an apothecary or something that was still open, or had just opened, because considering it was probably like 5 in the goddamn morning before they, were making their way back to the boat.
Healing potions generally are about 50 gold pieces for standard, 200 for greater, 2,000 for superior, and for supreme 20,000 gold.
Well, Nia takes the offset of the money she made and 120 more and just buys a single greater just in case. Just in case. It feels like the kind of thing you should. Actually, no, would it be better to get. Guys, would it be better to get more smaller healing potions or one bigger one?
More
Probably more
smaller.
smaller. Yeah, okay,
Common
so Nia
sense.
gets like. So,
You buy
sorry,
a
how much
couple of
were
the.
they? Yeah.
They're
How
about
much were
50
they?
gold pieces each.
Okay, so Nia grabs like. We'll go with another 3 regular healing potions. She takes some of her own gold from previous performances and what have you, and just, This seems like the kind
Okay.
of thing we should have for this kind of expedition.
If you want, I will even let you use your feet if you want.
Sure, I'll go with. It feels like. It feels like a high number, so I'm gonna go with high,
Bless
I
you.
guess.
Okay.
It's probably going to be 20. No, it's 91. Cool. So Nia just sort
They'll
of smiles and
go ahead.
thinks on the counter. Doesn't really flirt, but is personable and friendly and inquires about the provenance of the herbs and this and that, and just asks about how they became apothecaries, and just listens to
She
them.
does
She
small
likes people.
talk in order to
Exactly.
ensure that nobody believes that she's a danger. Which is
More or
apparently things that neurotypicals do,
less.
as I learned.
Right.
You go ahead and lean across the counter, giving your best eyes and saying like, "Hey, uh, just to let you know,
Yeah,
I'm
her
heading on
best
out. These
eyes,
are my.
all right.
I hope these are pretty good. I look forward to seeing what how effective your herbs are. And in selling the potions, because you bought 3 of them, they will sell you a potion of bless.
Aw.
They will toss it in. I was trying to say.
Oh, how sweet.
They toss in a potion of bless.
Do they want an autograph too?
They do want an autograph.
Nia
Called it.
cheerfully signs. Yeah. Nia cheerfully signs the autograph and thanks them for their help and their time and,
They're herbs.
their herbs, yeah. Wishes them well and, sort of turns back and waves a few times before going.
Okay. You guys disembark from Omiya 6 and
Hopefully
begin to
not for
make
the
your
last
way.
time.
Hopefully not for the last time. And then make your way on out into the solar system.
Well, into the quasi-known. Into the fairly well-known to people who aren't us.
Into the unknown.
I've never
only
actually...
Into
reason
the
he knows that.
No.
The only reason he knows that song is because I sing it on occasion.
We got to be careful how much we say though too, because literally that plus.
No.
It's like,
You're
no,
talking
that's
about
like copyright
Into the-
strike.
Yeah, well, you're also talking about Into the Sun known,
There you go. Into this unknown.
i.e., when you're driving into the sun. Do you know where you're going? Can you tell where you're going? No, it's Into the Sun known. Precisely.
It's more on a Newton boot.
So we'll take approximately 5 days for you guys to get to Abora. Is there anything you guys do across the way?
Oh, I am crafting things and being very busy.
Nia's probably
We're
going
getting
to hang
Roven
out
to
with Nox and
fish.
try and, learn to...
He was good at it last time.
Oh god. We don't need another eel, though. We really don't. As much
How
as we
came
like
as
this
an
one...
egg?
Okay, no, we're not actually going to put the eggs back, but Nia's going to probably joke about it.
Besides, if you give Roven a chance to find any more eggs, he'll bitch about the fact he doesn't want a menagerie and have to end up taking care of it.
Menagerie? Okay.
Well, you've done a phenomenal job of saddling him with this eel.
It liked you. Deal with it.
I am, if you haven't noticed.
No, I can't hear you over your bitching. So I haven't noticed anything over how much bitching you've been doing. Oh wait, I can't find you. You're wallflowering.
Eldrin, I am
clearly-
trying to craft things. Do you
Then
mind?
craft harder. How about you craft yourself a set of earmugs or earmuffs while you're at it?
Earmugs? Earmugs?
Earplugs. Earplugs was where I was headed, and it came out earmugs. Okay, so we're just gonna work with it.
No, I'm gonna giggle at you.
Channel, the voice channel is filled with so much clatter back and forth. It is hard to concentrate on this goddamn spell jamming this time. As everyone will not shut up.
We're special that way, apparently.
Speak for yourself.
Allegedly.
So,
That's all shit.
what are you? Let's go ahead and go down the line. Nox, what are you crafting?
Might be easier to ask him what he isn't crafting.
Or do you want to just send a message of what you're working on?
Everything.
I know, but
I know, but it's funnier to say everything.
I know.
How many companions? I am going to start working on 3 new amulet holders, eye stalks for these eyeballs that I gathered earlier.
Cool beans. Nia's probably going to sit in and watch at least some of this.
Okay. I was gonna say you'll get an advantage, I guess, Nox, if Nia's watching and if Nia's willing to grab a tool here and there.
Absolutely, he's
Or
willing to
strum a
teach.
loot and assist.
Yeah.
Go ahead and do a tool check as you start to create the molds for the more permanent fixtures now.
19.
Now that you know that your prototype worked.
I literally rolled 2 19s. Okay, so that is
That's real good, is what it is.
32.
Damn.
32. 32.
Yep.
This man has really good modifiers, as it turns out.
Intelligence +5. I get to use my proficiency ×2 now, and +2 for the all-purpose tool. And I rolled a 19.
Okay, Santa Claus, listen. Oh my God, Elnaya, you watch Nox's fingers as I drop my pen. You watch Nox's fingers move across this heap of smoldering. I have a better sound for this.
And don't forget, I have gloves of crafting on.
You do have gloves of crafting on.
My word.
You see him move. Actually, I think technically to start making the molds, the only thing you have is technically the kitchen. So it's just the image of you and Elnaya in the kitchen when they're trying to bake like a chicken for the night, but you're busy putting liquid into the mold, pulling it back out, putting it back in. Okay, but we really need to make the chicken. Shh. Fire has to say exactly that. It has to. Elnaya, if you continue to assist Nox with this project because of how well he has been doing, you will accelerate his progress.
All right, absolutely.
Am I going to be able to teach her anything while we're doing this?
What are you teaching her specifically? Just like how to make this particular product, or like
Apparently how to work with molds multiple times.
I guess technically this is smithing, so she will be learning smith tools with this, how to use those.
Sure, this seems interesting.
I was gonna say, we can certainly see about her getting a proficiency.
Fun.
I wouldn't say a proficiency right away, but I guess
You know,
32 is
Oh, I was
okay.
gonna say it takes a while, but it clearly, goddamn Santa Claus, you don't have an issue with, working things well.
I'm sorry.
And yes,
Elnaya,
grand old time.
Are you?
Elnaya, are you doing anything else separately?
Did Nox make that batch of healing potions that he distributed some of as well? I can't remember.
No, I have not made healing potions yet.
Oh.
I have to go buy some ingredients for that and then work on that. No, this is a project I've been wanting to finish for a long time, and that's getting you guys' eyes.
All right, yeah. So Nia is just going to like occasionally like, Can I do like an Arcana check to sort of like when the amulets are like mostly finished to sort of figure out any way, maybe like, I'm phrasing this badly, any sort of intrinsic magic in the eyes that maybe we both overlooked until the point that they were almost done. It's to make them like the thing they're trying to do more potent.
So you're looking to see if you can find the specific internal ley lines of these
Yes.
eyes and trying to enhance the effect.
Yes.
See, this is why Nox needs her. I'd be terrified to see what Rowan could do if he helped out, other than give everybody inherent wall melding ability.
I know Rowan may have some really interesting ideas.
Yes, that's
I
what
know.
terrifies me. Awesome, but everything ought to come with wall melding because I want that ability too.
So, should I roll Arcana or something?
You can do Arcana.
All right.
I'm scrolling down the.
He's scrolling through his DM trick book.
26. 19 plus 7.
I'm gonna make you guys like have to do like a whole thing on taxes because clearly Arcana is like too powerful.
Look, I'm already cursed. Don't get them all in trouble because like they're doing so well. Wait until I get in trouble and then I'll start rolling consecutive ones and then negatives because I'm cursed.
Perhaps we can look at rectifying that while we were. You know what? Rowan would like to go and assist Vale with the curse. See what he can do to alleviate this, and perhaps do some research and figure out what is required in order to remove that.
Anaya, let me get back to you about that, but you're
Yeah, of
definitely
course.
monitoring, and I would say you're being mentored also in smithing.
Nia is
So
enjoying the hell out of this. This is fascinating stuff.
keep this in mind.
Mia
Roven,
IRL would be absolutely excellent about actual smithing. She'd be so freaking good at it. This is ridiculous.
Roven, let me hold on to you for 2 seconds on your response. Eris, what are you doing?
I'm assuming I'm flying the ship.
Watching as I'm
So
crafting.
are you looking out for anything in particular, or are you just taking your standard breaks? Are you
Yeah.
going as fast as possible?
Well, for what I know, we are in a rush to get here, so I will be full head, all head, full speed. You know.
Okay. I do need a con save.
He will be,
Oh,
as
damn.
they say, gunning it.
I lost the screen. Shit. Balls. Shit. No. Fuck. Balls. Shit. Is this it? No. Is this it? Yes. There it is. All right. Good. So
You
you,
have a shit ton more foul words to say, so you have more words to say in sequence.
I curse like a sailor, and I feel nothing at all wrong with that.
Could have fooled me. That was more schoolgirl options.
He's being PG for the viewers.
I thought he was being
You
PG for the gremlin.
Have you heard of schoolgirl curse? Oh my
You
goodness,
know,
they would
the
make
small
sales
child
off
does
sales
not
off.
understand words yet.
you feel yourself hitting light speed and jumping as quickly as you can across star systems. Although the comms is the only really reason that I'm actually making you do the con check, because concentration, you have to be really focused. It's a little bit hard when all you hear is the bickering of people back and forth on puns and
I
helping
haven't
and
said
things.
a fucking word recently. Bite me.
Point proven.
But overall, you find that control of the ship is going quite well. This galleon actually moves really nicely for one that was originally owned by space clowns. A little bit uncomforting, but overall, a experience nonetheless that you're happy that you don't have to immediately worry about, feeling the back part of the ship just falling off randomly. You hadn't gone to actually put this thing into heavy white light speed just yet, so this is good. And I will not take any degrading points towards the ship.
Seeing that it is going well and everything is going smoothly, we're gonna push a bit further. We're gonna test the limits.
For
Ooh,
the
okay.
beyond!
Describe it.
Make it so.
As
So, seeing as the ship is feeling no structural or hull damage or anything of the sort as we're going at this current speed, we are going to push the throttle a bit harder, just to see what this new ship of mine, ours, can do.
Oh no.
Push the reactors up to 105%.
Oh no.
okay.
See what we can get out of the output.
You go ahead and push a little bit harder. I do need another con save.
This is gonna go great.
Do I not technically get advantage on these as well? Or how's that actually?
I will say that for this particular moment, as it's still a familiar ship, you would not gain advantage from this. So I will say that you do feel yourself pushing this ship hard. You still feel it holding on pretty well, but you feel your heart rate start to kick up a bit, which is draining you a little bit faster. You do feel you have to reduce back in speed.
How long can I hold this for?
You could hold it for about a day before you have to immediately return back down. But
I'll
I
run
will
this
say,
space for about 8 hours, and I'll bring it back down to regular running speed.
so you get about there. So I'm going to say you at least jumped in 2. I'm going to actually say you jumped
I don't see the token.
there, but you're going to have to take it.
There it is. I see it.
not
I see it.
Yeah. Sorry, it's a little dot on a very big screen. You at least were able to do a two-hand jump, but you're going to need to take a break because if you don't match up with the if you yourself don't take a break, it's going to be mentally tolling, and you start taking exhaustion.
I'll
You will take a
bring
break,
it out of
or your body will
hyperspace
take your
and
your break for you.
be bringing the ship out of hyperspace. Can I get auxiliary captain to the bridge, please? To the comm system.
How
He's
far?
asking for someone to take control for the moment.
That would be Naya or I. Seeing as that our other companion is left.
Oh, look, a wall.
How far along is Nox?
You're going to be spending the time working on this, but I mean, if you need to stop for a moment to, you can let Ilnaya kind of practice with the smithing of the oven.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
in that
It's
case,
not a really good forge, I'll tell you right now. It's not going to get you much, like a super amount of progress, but it's at least getting things going.
Yeah,
I did mention, says Vale out of nowhere, that I did suggest that you lot put in an actual workshop on this thing, but why listen to me?
I fully listened. Just didn't have time.
This is a thing we're going to do, just not now, obviously.
Naya, go ahead and practice. I'll take care.
All right, I'll do my best. She
Uh,
salutes with the little tiny screwdriver that she's not actually using. She's just sort of been using it to hold her hair up.
Actually,
My
wait,
final statement is, you feel that with practice, you'd actually feel, with your experience and how well you've actually been doing with your constitution saves, with your experience, if you keep practicing doing these particular jumps, you may actually learn to be able to push faster, farther, harder, effectively having your speed. So this is something you can certainly work on if you're interested. Having your I'm saying this wrong. Having your time, not your speed. I hope that made sense. I don't hear anyone say anything. Okay.
Yep.
Rovan, what are you doing to help Vale?
So, Rovan is not aware of the specifics of the curse, so he will politely ask Vale to let him know what's going on and describe any symptoms.
she shows 4 arms.
I think said she
Mostly
has
not.
4 arms.
That's what I heard as well.
Shows. She shows 4 arms.
So I will uncover some skin so that somebody can see what kind of ridiculous curse markings I seem to have, and mention that I feel like if I was in a bad situation that I wouldn't trust myself as much to be able to handle things.
Rovan, you look over towards her forearms and you notice the Medusa-like tendrils that seem to serpent up and down her arms. They are animated and seemingly biting at her wrists, making it so that having her do any particular major checks is going to be significantly difficult for her. Even for you, Avail, although it doesn't really hurt too much, it would stutter and hamper your ability to do your major checks with this very uncomforting feeling and your delicate work needing to be done.
So, can Rovan perform, I guess, a history check on that?
You can.
What will a nat 20 tell me?
Oh,
Oh, my son of a
Ah,
So it's 19, but
We're just on the rolls today. Thank God.
and
Dice
then
are just like,
following
yep.
that, he would also like to perform a medicine check at all right. So a history check at nat 20 and a medicine check at 19 for more information on this.
You can determine, first of all, that it's nothing biological to her specifically. This definitely looks to be a curse that comes from an outside visage. you can understand that she will be taking a -2 penalty to her saving throws while attached to this curse. And because it seems to be more on a religious way, only a god or someone of extreme magic can possibly remove this curse. But this definitely looks possibly to be the work of something you've heard of before called the Deck of Many Things.
Ah, okay, yes. Relevant is familiar with that.
If
So,
it helps at all, I have a feeling it was the drinks that the goblin gave us.
well,
Go ahead.
it occurs to me, unfortunately, this is beyond my ability to deal with directly, as I am not a cleric in any way, shape, or form, nor a god. However, we are
Sure,
on our way to meet.
you're melding into abilities. You're melding into wall abilities might put you on the same level.
Certain things come with practice. However, it does occur to me that we will be progressing to go and save a god immediately after this, who will probably owe us a favor. It might be possible to ask said god a boon to remove this from you.
It had crossed my thought process. Thank you for reminding me. Thank you for attempting, actually. Not exactly
Oh,
something
this
I
is a
expected.
work in progress. Worry not. We will get you. We will address the situation. This is. We've seen worse, but we will unfortunately have to table this here. In the meantime, please try not to take too much damage or get into any perilous situations until we have a chance to rectify the situation.
Well, I'd love to blah, blah, blah. Well, I'd love to say that that is something I can honestly promise. It will depend very greatly on what kind of trouble everybody else gets in.
Indeed, but you are, how shall we say, an enthusiastic individual. Perhaps it might be worth playing more cautiously for the time being until we can get you back to your full capabilities.
I don't mind playing with a handicap. Every so often, one's got to figure out what one's capable of. But thank you.
Well,
Please.
one's metrics will be skewed if one is
Dead?
severely limited.
With that
Spending.
being said, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, it was probably a name anyway. After you.
Okay. With that being said, would both Roven and Vale give me perception checks real quick?
$13.
21.
21. And by the way, Roven, I would like over this course of time, I want 2 different other checks real quick. Trying to find out where I put this. Here it is. Can you give me 2 d20s with a +5?
Sean, you're gonna hate me. I'm sorry.
Ah!
How the fuck did you get a 43?
Incredible. Incredible.
Where does the 43 come from? How
Oh.
did you get 43 with the
It's 219s.
219s?
It's 219s together.
219? I was like, okay, we have to talk to your calculator for a second here because 43 it's not 18, 19, 43, 20.
I was made
Okay.
of the brain.
Let's see what this damage looks like. This is completely
damage?
separate. This is something completely separate. Don't worry about that.
Oh, yeah, sure, because I didn't see something and now there's damage involved. But don't
Hold
worry
on.
about it.
Hold on.
We're all gonna die, but that's fine.
No, I said don't worry about it, and you were worrying about it. Hold on, I'll make you worry later.
I'm not even worried. I'm just making fun.
So, Roven, in the time that you have been on the ship and apparently put in charge of food observation and recovery, you've let out the fishing lines as they've asked you before, not really too haphazardly interested in it. I'm feeling. Am I correct? Yes or no?
He's the one who was able to fucking catch a fish that was able to feed like 20 people. He can do the
Yes,
fishing.
but that is because the situation was dire and called for it. This time we were smart enough to bring provisions, so he is.
It's just sort of an additional bonus if it happens.
I like fishing.
I like turtles.
Here.
I like being here.
Yeah,
Oh my-
that's always nice.
I'm sorry,
You-
Matt.
No, you're not.
What? Why? Wait, what? I'm sorry. Why is that funny?
So, as you've been trying to fish out, in the times that you've been sailing, it's been a little bit hard, especially it was when Eris was kind of gunning it. It's kind of hard to catch fish when you're moving towards light speed. But in the times that you slow down, you fished your line out and weren't really getting much of a bite. And then a large black object seemed to serpent its way out from below deck in very delicious fashion, chasing after a school. And you would hear.
I'm expecting all the goblins to start being like,
Oh, the goblins are terrified as they see the large, incredibly terrifying eel spurt its way out.
is this our eel?
This is your eel that
Oh,
has
yeah,
serpented its way out into schools of fish. It has stunned and killed 3 space guppy. It has killed a large astral cod, which will feed approximately. I had to look up the space guppy again.
Guppy.
So, for reminder, this is a 3-foot long space guppy, so approximately 9 feet worth of fish, and then an astral cod is.
Fine.
Sorry, I gotta do the division here. Oh, okay. An astral cod's 88 pounds worth of fish.
Damn.
Jesus,
I highly
tits.
doubt that the space eel will allow us to take part in its meal.
Well, I'm supposed to say at the end that there's a gold ring inside the cod's stomach.
Hmm.
It didn't
What's
say
the
magic.
line
It's just
from Big Fish? Sometimes to catch a fish, you got to use a little gold.
I'm so
but like
happy
a
you knew
trained
that
dog,
reference. Or you said that reference.
but like a trained dog, your eel seems to bring back the meal. Maybe one of the guppies did not entirely make it back in one piece, but otherwise.
Nox is
Aw.
piloting the ship at this point, right?
What a nice fish.
Please tell me that
Sure.
it like, dropped it at like Rovin's foot and looked up at him like a puppy that wanted like, I'm so pleased that I brought food. Please give me attention.
Rovin will
Yeah,
pet the
that's
creature affectionately and congratulate it on its successful hunt.
Vale's gonna
So,
very gently tap it on its side and like, wow, I'm impressed. Good going, Guppy.
all right, now I'm going to need you to do an animal handling check because you called it guppy.
I thought it might actually be like an affectionate nickname.
You called it guppy.
You're not gonna be happy about that, I don't think.
7.
One is the loneliest number that you ever knew.
Yes.
I need a dexterity check.
No, let it slide.
I suggest you
I've
do.
only got 19 hit points currently. It'll be fine.
How do you only have 19 currently?
I can't remember.
We did rest,
Okay, but
so
you did rest. You have more hit points.
Yeah, you
Good,
should
I
be
guess
all
I
back
have
to
more
full.
than 19.
You should be back to full. Unless something
Well,
has
not
gone seriously
anymore.
wrong.
You would be taking 8 points of lightning damage. And I'm not saying it's because you called it guppy. I'm just going to say it's because it has lately been very unhandleable from other outside sources.
Which one I'm just gonna look at it with my 8 points of scorching damage and go, hey, that's enough of that. You don't need to. I haven't hurt you. That's enough of that. Yeah, growl at me later, baby boy.
And it seems to serpent its way with the one guppy back down
Oh,
as it
what
leaves
a
the rest
grumpy,
of its meal.
what a grouchy baby.
Now, that was what I
would-
meant about that.
I would be
Go
grouchy
ahead.
too if somebody had gravely insulted me like that.
Oh, that's fair. I don't know if Neo would be there.
It was meant
actually.
to be an affectionate nickname. Next time I'll leave the animal handling to you then. Jeez.
So, what I was originally going to say before we had that little tidbit, because I forgot to cover the fishing portion of this.
I'm more impressed that I understand our language and the name
Yeah, it's
nickname
already
Guppy.
learned. It's
Oh,
already learned.
I just meant more so
Nice.
that it was like the unintentional contact.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. Vale's just straight up gonna be like, no, you don't get to do that bullshit. Come on, buddy.
Vale, while you are after the shocking had happened, and you kind of with your 13 for perception, you picked up from your side bag
Yes.
oh, sorry. As you start to hear what sounds like a rambling sound, you feel little bits of light are starting to pick up from behind inside your bag.
Well. I think I'm going to pull out a sword.
If you look at loot discussion, let me know when.
The return of the motherfucker.
The one that saved our ass.
Yeah.
That you will then see that the
Exactly.
jewel that you had taped, or okay, now I imagine it's been like duct taped, but you
I've
roped
been eyeing
effectively to the
him.
sword. You see an iridescent amount of magic seem to leave the shard and draw into the blade, infusing the gem into the hilt. And with a quick flash, both you and Roven find yourselves in
Oh,
the Sapphire Caverns.
Oh shit.
did I see a flash? Out of curiosity.
I will say that you can see Roven and, from your point of view, Roven and
Vale.
Vale are kind of just looking down at her sword.
So just out of the curiosity, this would be the Sunbreaker.
This is Sunbreaker.
This is Sunbreaker, but it's gone silver blue.
Since the fusion of the gem inside, yes.
Okay. So we're in the Sapphire Caverns then, yeah?
You are in the Sapphire Caverns.
Can I go back to where I saw him talking?
You did this. This is where you saw him talking.
Well, I wasn't certain if there was like this was the entrance to the cave, and then. Apologies, Roven. Apparently you've been brought along.
This is quite an interesting place that you have here.
It's not one I'm normally able to access on my own, I promise you that.
Understood. It is a bit disconcerting. This atmosphere is slightly
He'll
on
probably
the
like you,
dissettling side.
as usual. I'll call out, Cadros, you awake?
Na, 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 na.
You feel bits and pieces of the cave seemingly coming to life. Roven, as you look around, you could see this entire cavern is filled with bits and pieces of sapphire that seem to be exuding themselves out. You could see the water itself having an iridescent color rippling. And from the large, bright crystal in front,
Well, that used to sound like me when I was trying to wake up.
that was not one.
He's a charging his laser.
Been in the void just yet.
Say again.
This one is not just in the void just yet.
Better not be. Took a while to get you back.
I've seen this one. See, you've done work now, Drake Slayer.
On occasion. I got you something better than Dreambinder this time.
I felt it. You feel shakes in the cave. And yet, this one is still bound.
I didn't know how else to bring you back.
In death. Little one, in death. But you have shown this one. You are capable.
Thought you were aware of that last time we had this discussion.
In my absence.
Don't meld into wall. For the love of God, just do me the favor of not melding into wall. I don't want to have to worry about where the fuck you are as well, and I know where you live, and so does he. Get your ass back here and face it like a... Just face the fucking eyeball.
Face the music, buddy. Face the music.
Or I will put a fucking spotlight on your ass. Get over here.
She will attach a bell permanently to your person.
Roven crawls to the wall. This one reminds me of me.
Every time
As Roven is able to tunnel through the wall as a sapphire dragon can.
just hear him sneaking around. Dingle, dingle, dingle. Dingle, dingle, dingle.
I'm getting you a fucking bell. Get your ass to Ross back here.
Away, moe.
This one has had time to review.
Thank you. Now get actually over here.
Your skill, Drake Slayer. And this one feels... this one feels you are worthy.
Shit, she's worthy.
He is worthy. He is
Therefore,
worthy.
I extend my treasures unto you.
Whoa, what? I thought you being around was a decent enough treasure. What am I missing?
Providing me the arts has let me see your skill. Providing me your power has given me pleasure. And providing me your wit
Skating.
has brought me truth. Where many would have taken the opportunity to see a fortune, You protected this one when this one was most vulnerable.
You saved our damn asses. That was the least I could do.
Therefore, I name you Champion of Underblue. It is yours.
Oh shit.
Know not why this one has felt this recollection in most recent times come to pass, but the decision is mine to make alone. And for you, I feel strongly about this. Take this with pride, Drake Slayer.
But you are sticking around, are you not? I've got your body. What did I
You-
miss?
Underblue is not undefended, Drake Slayer. If you wish to take this keep, you will need me to get inside. When you feel you are at time, we will head back to the Aquarius. But until then, carry my boon and allow me to further see you through your arts.
Hey, you sticking around is a good enough boon for me.
No, I feel more can be done.
You're leaving?
There's a blink in the eye.
Also, how the hell are you leaving? You're basically like a sentient sword, and I bought the damn sword. I mean, that's not exactly the important part here, but for the love of gods.
Being trapped to this form is a choice I made. But allow me to offer this much. And you'll see the eye disappears once I let it disappear.
Oh.
And from it, you feel the iridescent spirits that you once had seen before leaving the glowing cavern. They begin to wrap around you in a serpentine-like manner. Da, 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 ba, 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 ba.
Are you seriously quoting It's a Small World to me?
Well, I couldn't find the Cadro scream, so
I see.
there it is.
I love how it's known as the Cadros scream.
I wrote it that way. Vale, as you see this Cadro spirit wind up around you, you look up to see it immediately pours itself down into your throat.
Blink, blink, blink.
Yes, you do a lot of that.
Yes,
Oh,
I
shit,
gathered
you
as such.
You quasi accidentally ate him, I guess.
He decide what?
Oh,
With
draconic
you.
lore.
I will be always.
You have a soul buddy.
Vale, both you and Rovan find yourselves back
Are we
outside.
sure? Could you find him after he was busy melding with wall?
He's on
Rovan,
top of that. Jesus.
when you look at Vale, the first thing that you will notice,
Other than her glaring at you under her hood.
is a
Sadly,
streak
we
of
cannot see
is a
her
long
glaring.
streak of Oh, go ahead.
Fortunately, you can't see her glaring because she's wearing a hood.
But what you can notice is a long streak of blue that seems to hang down from the front of her hood.
Do I have like blue ass streaks in my hair now?
You can go look.
Maybe once I figure out
Congratulations!
what the hell just happened.
Congratulations, Vale. You're anime.
I'm going to pretend you didn't say that.
I'm only. I mean, Nia obviously didn't. She doesn't know what an
Well, of
anime
course
is.
not, but still, I'm going to pretend you didn't say that.
She's Rogue. She's just another version of Rogue.
Vale, I will tell you this so that you can take the time to kind of absorb this in, but what you have acquired is something called a draconic gift. Upon the death of a dragon can result in the power taking root in a character, whether the person is the chosen heir or the dragon's killer. The result of this investigative effect is power and impact, anywhere from a minor charm all the way up to a magnificent transformation. The character may
Can I
notice
turn
the
into a
different
dragon?
Let him finish.
Alright.
the effects of the draconic mark may come into the effect of different versions. When you would go down, I'm assuming to go find out what the fuck happened, and checking into any of the mirrors, you will notice that one of the streaks in your hair and towards the front, you'll notice that a patch of scales, blue scales, has formed at the very top. And from it, blue hair has actually come down. It's your same kind of mesh of hair, like it's your same style. It's just of your white hair, it's blue. You will also notice that both of your eyes are now sapphire. You will also find, if you go over to the, let's do it in the, I'm in the wrong Discord, session highlights. Let's say he's got me doing it. You did get an upgrade.
Ooh. Oh, I know exactly what throw that's from. Great game.
Whoa.
Rovan, how did you take all that in?
Very calmly. He's sort of just. This doesn't involve him. There are no portals. He is required to do nothing, so he is merely observing. Quietly.
For what it's worth. Huh?
Vale's
I've
kind of
been
in
wait.
shock
I've been
that
waiting so many sessions to do that.
Vale's kind of in shock that that's what happened, but also that her eyes are the wrong color now, but isn't necessarily annoyed about it, but is slightly annoyed about it, but is also just like, what happened?
You seem to have inhaled the dragon.
He is Dragonborn.
So I will kind of clarify a bit more because I know this was a lot, and we've been kind of covering a lot of things. So a long time ago, in a little town far away, you were handed a goblet of many things. Sorry, a box of many drinks.
Yes. We gathered that part. Everybody else ended up being weirded out, mostly.
So one of the things you had actually drank the potion of throne, which says you gained proficiency in the persuasion skill and you doubled your proficiency bonus on your checks made with that skill. But at the time you were really confused when I stated that because you already have persuasion as one of your major proficiencies. But in addition to that, it states, and I quote, in addition, you gained rightful ownership of a small keep somewhere within the universe. However, the keep is currently in the hands of monsters, which you must clear out before you can claim it as yours. You now are in charge of Underblue.
You have a
Gave me
key.
his throne?
Well, it was
Sure
the only
did.
it was the only keep I had.
Congratulations. You done it.
That's fucking cool.
That
It's
is
not
rad as hell.
technically-
Let's go.
It is not fully yours yet. You still have to clear out the inhabitants, but he has given you rightful ownership of Underblue.
That is so cool.
Would I hypothetically know where Underblue is based on the fact he gave it to me?
Yes.
Bit in her sword.
Where is it?
Aquarius Demia.
First, I mean,
It's the place we all met.
Yes.
oh, go back to your friends.
But we'll cover that in another session.
So, just to be clear, he's not hanging around anymore because he gifted.
No, he's still there. He's still in your sword.
Oh, good. You didn't have to lose a friend to gain his power.
Yay!
I mean, I can take it away if you don't want it.
No, look, I'm just kind of shell shocked, okay? I've lost the eye color that nobody else knows about, and I've also gained a shit ton more Caliana
Yeah.
stats from Critical Role Part 2.
Right, you are special.
And nobody can see it except me because I hide under a hood.
Perhaps it will. take
One of
the hood
these
off.
days we'll see under the mask, I'm sure.
One day, maybe. You'll see. Maybe.
With that being said, hey Nox,
I
Yeah.
wouldn't be too sure, of course.
while you were taking your shift, giving Eris the time to rest, and flying along, you did come across.
Actually, while I'm
if you
flying the
look-
ship, by the way, I am giving Naya suggestions.
Okay.
Your ship has to come to a slowing down as you've entered something that weighs more than a ton. As you start to approach a derelict ship.
Oh.
This one is not an Illithid ship. I will immediately tell you.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, we'd all be a little nervous about that after the fucking calamari bullshit.
Yes,
But you can-
The last time it
but
worked out pretty okay.
especially
It
now.
went
that
down.
we
you
have-
do
Sorry.
you do notice that the emergency lights are on.
Oh. So I guess it hasn't been derelict too long. Maybe we'll find survivors. Do we have, like, are we going to hail them?
All right. So before I do anything, what is the entire group currently doing? Do we have a veil? Do we have a Robin?
Vale's staring at the wall, trying to figure out what happened exactly.
Ah, yes. What happens when Sean drops lore?
He is
Breaks your
doing
brains.
Nia.
It's not that size. It just blew up the picture.
Nia is, of course, working on the amulets, trying to poke and prod at the ley lines. You know, she's just generally doing Nia things with.
That could
The
be
goblins
many
have
things.
actually set up a line out through the kitchen, each of them holding a tiny pie that they would like to use the oven for, but they're politely and they do not stop you from your work.
Can Nia like finish up with the oven parts and just like be working on the bits and pieces without having to heat metal and what have you? 'Cause
Yeah.
it seems like we've got the main bulk of the molding done, and whatever else can, she can probably spot heat the tools with prestidigitate or whatever.
Well, yeah. Essentially, once the metal's melted, toss in the cast. Everything else now is like files and sanding.
It's the boring work.
Tiny intricate carvings.
From what I recall of my metalworking, yeah.
Nia is very carefully. She's got like a sort of area of like cloth set up so as to catch all the little tiny fragments of metal so it doesn't get into anyone's pie.
Oh,
Or pants.
yeah.
Each of them, as they take their time, after you go ahead and remove your materials, you'll notice that they don't really seem to weight one another. They all seem to stack all 12 of the pies very gently inside and with ease. Each of them thank you politely for their turn to warm their pies up. And then each of them taking a moment to
Yeah, thanks them
wait
politely,
outside
waiting.
in the same line that they formed, waiting for them to finish heating.
Delightful. What do they smell like, the pies?
Oh, they're just meat pie.
Ah, I see. Oh, they just get 12 little pot pies going. That's adorable for some reason. I don't know why it's so cute, but it really is.
Because the idea of tiny people running around with tiny pies sounds delicious. And I think those came from Swanson, and they were delicious. And like all I can picture is like a package, like a frozen package worth of Swanson hot like beef pies, and kneading them in the oven and stacking them neatly, and then needing to have them come out with their shells, and then tipping them out onto a plate, and then needing to break them open because they're so fucking hot. Wow, I just flashed back to my family.
Yeah, no shit. Jesus.
Wow, that was a powerful memory.
That was a
Apparently we
trip.
did that more than once. They were tasty ass pies though.
They were. All right. So, quick question: is everyone awake, or are they on the verge of being returning to realm of the living as or awareness?
I mean,
So we could
awareness might be
say it's
another 10
about
minutes.
we could say it's at least almost noon.
Noon's not the problem here.
All hands.
It is 11:19. How people feel, status updates, thoughts, feelings, ideas, concepts, realities.
Oh yeah, no, I'm
Oh,
so
that
good.
wasn't what I was going for.
Oh, I don't know anymore. I'm going to be over here. DM
Vale's
walks and sits in his
fucking, like-
chair in the corner.
Vale is shell shocked, okay? Vale, like, expected her friend to wake up. That was the extent of she expected her day to go, alright? But A, she had to yell at the idiot astral elf over there, whose meld with wall ability appears to be the only consistent piece of his personality, and apparently needed to go in and, like, remind him that, you know, manners exist. And also, she suddenly was gifted a keep.
Rovan, by the way, can I have?
This landholder.
You know what? Fuck it. Can you give me a chance die with high or low?
Oh
Sure.
boy.
We'll go high.
Well,
Nat 1.
Oh no! Wait, no. Oh, never mind.
Oh, the chuckle makes it so much better.
something's gonna happen and we don't know.
Rovan,
Hopefully this man does not.
you've done lost one of your shoes.
What?
Oh no, his shoe.
Rovan will look down and notice that he has indeed lost one of his shoes.
Vale
This is
look
very
over at
odd
him.
because being a ranger, it's an important lesson to know to have your footwear laced on tight and double knotted so that it won't betray you in the heat of a pursuit. He finds
Where
this
does your
extremely
shoe
odd.
go? Vale's just gonna look over at him. Didn't you have 2 of those?
This is what happens when you play inside under blue. You lose a shoe.
Apparently, I am in need of newer footwear.
I hope it
Well-
wasn't enchanted.
Would you rather lose a shoe or a level of exhaustion? There's your choice.
No, the shoe is fine. So,
Okay.
Rovan, slightly befuddled, will make his way over to Nox and go, is there any way that you can duplicate this and hand him the other shoe? For the other foot, obviously.
Actually, he could craft something very, very easily from that with the leather and whatnot that he has. And I was doing some research. Making a shoe and whatnot would take like an hour.
When
Vale's
you...
just gonna peer over his shoulder and go, apparently I now own that keep. So should we ever actually decide to go back and obtain that keep? With luck, your shoe might actually still be there.
If you wouldn't mind, I would very much appreciate it. It would be... It's getting a little bit drafty on deck.
I'm certain it is. I'm just as much confused as you are. I seem to have lost my eyes, and you seem to have lost a shoe.
What happened to your eyes?
That's way good.
How are you navigating around without sight?
Oh, what?
My colors changed, and so some of my hair.
Oh.
I was gifted a boon,
Raccoon?
and apparently a keep.
Keeping a raccoon? Oh god,
No,
why am I
I
suddenly
have
keeps?
a castle. The dragon gave me a castle.
Oh.
Naya!
Nia's like, what happened?
Cadros is awake. He's
Oh, he's
back.
awake.
He gave me his castle.
He what?
That's
You
what
got
I
what?
said. We
A
need to go back
castle?
and get it. It's on Aquarius 6.
Out of
But
character, where's Aquarius again?
But I seem to have been gifted a castle, and I don't know what to do with this.
He was like, well,
Um,
congratulations. I presume you'd go back and rule it, like see what.
I'm
goodness,
let's
this
back up
is-
here. It's me. You know, the only one who's more grouchy than Mr. Waldmeld over here, and more likely to meld into the shadows.
You don't have to be personable to be a good ruler. You
This
just have to be.
he's a fucking dragon. I highly doubt his former subjects were particularly thrilled about their rulers.
I mean, you never know. He could. I mean, just because he's a dragon doesn't mean he's a douchebag.
That's true. I highly doubt, however, that the former dwarves who cursed him to stick around in a sword in the first place would be particularly thrilled that there is, somebody new.
Maybe you'll win them over.
I honestly don't really. I kind of want to hurt those dwarves on behalf of my friends. So maybe we'll have to
Table it.
for now. Yes. Also, me settling down. Dear God, this seems like a bad idea all the way around. I wanted to let you know that apparently Rovin's shoe is stuck in said castle. I think,
Oh, poor Robin.
and that Cadros is back. Also, did I give you the candle yet?
The witch
So apparently you've been in. We'll talk about it later.
now? All right. He is befuddled, but obliging.
If you guys could see Vale's face right now, the what the fuck look that is on it that none of you can see is like, I don't know how to handle any of this right now. This is way beyond my powers of persuasion and knowledge, and I'm a little befuddled and am trying to handle it gracefully and probably am failing.
Well, I have roused Eris, but for everyone to know, we have a derelict ahead of us to have the emergency light.
Cool. That will definitely fix the fact that I am totally incapable of dealing with humanity and or any sort of manity at all. So let's go investigate that.
And not with
For the clarification of what the emergency lights are on, it's effectively prestidigitation on lanterns.
There's a and everything in on Earth, all vessels have essentially a beacon. I can't remember what the heck it's called suddenly. No, it's not
An oh fuck light?
Essentially, it's a GPS, radio signal, all that sort of stuff, and you I can't remember what it's called. So I suspect that all these vessels out here would have some similar thing where essentially is shit has gone wrong. If you see this, help.
Help.
SOS beacon?
Yeah, they call it something else, but yeah, essentially that.
Mind you, this one is not destroyed, and this one is not a non-elephant ship. To the sadness of Ares.
I would absolutely love to not have to listen to how the research must continue this time.
Eris, so Nox had poked you to come to the bridge and talk about your thoughts on this.
Okay, I missed it. I just went and fed cats. Sorry.
Yep, okay.
Oh, sorry.
Happened.
Why don't you go ahead and describe it, Nox?
So, not Eris, if you're sleeping, Nox is going to just come into the speak room. Eris, we seem to have a derelict ship ahead of us. What does the ship look like? Actually, I haven't given.
The ship is like kind of a horseshoe-like shape. It's actually pretty common for the more. I want to use the more updated designs. But I don't. We're going to call it a horseshoe ship because I don't remember the name off the top of my head. But it's effectively a cargo ship.
We seem to have a cargo ship ahead of us, Eris. I'm going to begin docking, bringing us close.
How about you start with hailing it, perhaps?
Not here, so don't have to.
All right, there, Robin. I'll wake up and it's like, all right, well, let me get in the chair and we'll begin procedures here.
I'm already bringing us close.
Don't dock with it yet until we know what's going on with it.
Exactly.
If it's derelict, I want to know more information before we put any foots on the board.
Makes sense.
For what it's worth, Eris, what knowledge do you have of my skills with spacefaring?
Very little.
Oh no, I lived in the space. I'm boy-born.
Oh, I know. Do you recognize the vessel then?
And that's the next question is, would I recognize the vessel at all? Oh no, yeah, he said I've heard of it. It seems to be one of the newer style ships. I haven't seen them yet, but it's definitely not a normal one.
What style of ship?
Horseshoe shape. What?
No, you're fine. Keep going.
You're a little crooked, this one.
I know. I thought you were like actually asking like, oh yeah, what shape is it? I was like,
Exactly, and you just told me, so I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I'm not in.
I know.
Cool.
Yeah, keep going. Don't worry about me.
All right, well, let's get in the chair. And is there, if any of you, did you have looked at it as you approached it? Is there any wrong with it, or is it just kind of floating there?
It seems to have emergency lights on for sure. Haven't had a chance to really cast. Oh wait, this seat can. Wait, does this seat allow us to cast any spells or just a certain spell?
If this is the chair you had earlier, your major helm, it does allow you to use that fire spell that just left my brain.
Okay, yeah.
Fireball?
No, not fireball. No.
Firebolt, probably.
No. Firebolt, I believe. Do not be giving no fireball now.
Yeah,
You
that's-
said fire spell. I improvised.
Thanks, Nixie.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
fireball.
helping you find any more shoes.
All right, I'm basically telling these things as I go sit in the chair. And all right, Robin, I'll take back command if you're willing here.
Why do you keep calling me Rowan? Are you okay,
Because
Eris?
it's Nox. It's Nox. I'm just.
He's-
My bad.
His exhaustion is still in play.
Apparently.
Apparently.
Nox will hop out. Give
Sorry, thanks, Nox.
give Eris a
Let's,
high five, transfer over the power.
Let's do a flyby if you guys want to do some visuals on the ship as we fly around it here to make sure there's nothing exteriorly out of condition.
Go ahead and rouse the troops. I'll be up top side there, Eris.
Roger that. Comes through in the comms. Attention all crew, we have a derelict ship. We're approaching. I need more visuals on it before we go ahead and take it a... Right, sorry, just a second.
Nox will kind of give Vale and Robin a pat slaps on the shoulders as he walks past, or on the forearms as he walks past and heads up top side, grabbing the spyglass and inspecting the other ship.
What the other guys we have? Goblins and...
Hadozi.
Hadozi. I was going to call him Hadundi. For some reason.
Can I get the goblins to brand the weapons up the ship? Haduzi, just prepare to join the boarding party once we clear the area.
Compression, get on the ship. Get on the guns with the Hadozi, please. And right, he's not here.
Getting flyby now, Nox. You can use to help with visuals. Let's take a look and see what's going on here.
Aye.
Vale and Rolvin, please report to upper deck.
And we'll make his way up there.
Vale's just gonna toss him like a set of some form of footwear here to replace what you're missing.
Robin will look down and go, "Oh, that's not going to fit, but I appreciate the offer," and continue
It's
on his
better
way.
than what you have.
Unfortunately, something improper footwear will limit mobility even worse than...
Fine.
Did we have a rest, by the way?
You did have a rest. It's been at least 2 days.
Robin. As Robin came up, Nox will hand him a set of boots.
Robin will inspect the boots, and
They are boots of the
Nox.
winding path.
Hey.
Nox, you have done
I forgot.
excellent work.
I forgot I had a spare set. You will need to still. I think you still need to. What's that word called again? Acclimated.
Attune.
Attune. I think you'll still need to attune with them, but that's only an hour long.
Well, again, I very much appreciate it.
And be advised, it will lose its effect after 24 hours. I will have to re-imbue it.
How big is the ship compared to ours?
Hold on a second. Making sure the goblin doesn't move. Okay. You can do. I was gonna say for you, you can use your bonus if you want there, Eris. To anyone who knows anything about Spelljammers, if you so wish, you could do a historical check.
That'd be Nox.
I'm not banning anyone from trying. You can still do it if you want. Just gonna say, if it's probably gonna be a little bit harder.
Would I have advantage due to my background?
I'm willing to hand advantage. Yeah, sure.
You said Arcana?
It is technically history.
Be a 17.
He also got a 17, oddly enough.
All right.
So did
What
Rovan.
the fuck? What is with all the 17s? This is funny.
17's for everybody.
You
Apparently.
get a 17, you get a 17, and you get a 17.
Okay. Eris, it seems to be a Uspo? Is that how you pronounce it? Uspo?
Yes.
Seems to be an Uspo trader.
Is it much larger than we are? Is it a much larger ship?
Not significantly. They hold about 40, which is about the same size as what you hold.
Okay.
They USPOs were specifically used to carry Dalwar. Dalwar, for those historically, and this is canon, are space penguins. They are couples, so they hold hands together, and they are business people. And
I'm sorry, but I can't hear you over how excited. I can't hear you over how excited Nox is over here. He's literally doing the penguin waddle.
So I can give you a photo real quickly. So if you guys will all go to lore in the, they are legitimately penguins who hold hands together. And they have a mental connection to each other, and they effectively, when they find their partner, they become one unit. So they speak as if they are one people. But they are business people, and they ride space wines.
We're within 1 mile of the derelict ship, correct?
You are within 1 mile of the derelict ship. It is within view.
Rovan would like to use primeval awareness.
So
I honestly can't get over how much squeaking is happening beside me.
They're so cute.
And I swear that is canon as hell. When I heard about that one, I was like,
That is adorable as.
So, Nova, do we need to go on a trip to the zoo to see the penguins?
Can I touch them?
Oh, I love
I want to
it.
pet the penguins!
Can you pet penguins anywhere?
I don't know, but I may need to make some actual serious contemplation about this information, because obviously I need to make this a gift.
To answer your question there, Rovan, the answer is no. And just in case you... Go ahead.
Rovan will just nod, satisfied.
You go ahead and spin the ship around, kind of just doing a long, very large loop, and you don't see any significant damage that has occurred to the ship at this time. You find that it appears, for the most part, to look abandoned. Or rather, it's just kind of it's effective. It's not floating at a weird angle. It looks like it's still holding its gravitational kind of
The engine
axes. Nope, everything is still there, but the engine is off.
Eris, I suggest we go in.
Bring it around. Go ahead.
Eris, I suggest we get in as soon as we can. Their oxygen may be stale.
Yeah, I was going to suppose I'll bring it around to what looks like the front cargo hold there, or at least a landing port. On the left side in that picture there.
On the left side, okay.
Up near front. Seems like the best way in that I can see at the moment.
I concur, my friend.
Let's go.
So, begin making a boarding party and take the Udozi with you. I'll keep the goblins here for defensive reasons. Just in case.
Honestly, that's probably one of the better ideas.
Message out to the goblins. Goblins, prepare a grappling hook.
Oh no.
Get attached to this and hold in place and allow boarding party to board.
Waiting for the goblins to breach.
And then don't follow us. Just hold still. We need you to stay safe.
You hear a lot of very sad goblins.
Dag and rest of crew, you are here to guard the ship with me and keep me intact while the crew is aboard.
I need you to keep everybody safe. It may
That's
not be
very
fun,
important to
but it
us.
is an exceptionally important role that we would not dare trust to anybody else. You are too important to lose.
Protect the boom makers, Dag.
The kick of excitement has kicked in once more, but you guys go ahead and approach over. The ship's entrance is not difficult. You can go ahead and see that it looks like from the outside that the door is closed, but you do notice Eris, as you approach, you're waiting for the air bubble to take effect. And when you finally press into the other side, you don't get an air bubble back. Meaning there's been no one at the helm for a little bit.
Lovely.
Rovan, I have no oxygen moving around that ship. Make your attempts swift. Find any survivors. Let's get them back over here.
Let me do it. I don't need to breathe.
Dag, prepare any supplies for medical and/or casualties coming aboard.
Nox will cast air bubble on himself. Actually, let me double check.
I need you lot to stay here. Let me handle this. Keep in touch with your chirp. I'm going in.
Not alone.
Did none of
Vale-
you breathe?
Vale, take some reinforcements with you. They can make air bubbles. That'll work. I don't know what's going on in there. I'd rather have more than one with you than you yourself.
Yeah,
I
you weren't here
recall
the last time
somebody
this worked.
mentioning to somebody about curbing her enthusiasm.
The point remains that all of you guys suck at stealth.
Nox
I
will
beg to differ, thank you very much.
Yeah,
Well,
well, nobody
damn.
asked your opinion.
Nox will
Well,
cast air
double
bubble.
damn. Okay,
I
so
can-
Nox is
Although I
going on
don't
over. Vale is gonna go on over.
Nia's like, I would like to come too.
Do we
Vale's just
have
gonna
it?
take a very deep breath of lack of air in and just go.
Nox, keep an eye on her.
Of course.
Fuck off. Get your air bubbles on board. We're going in. I'm going into that door, and I'll wait just inside of it, looking for traps and anything else, assuming I can get in past it.
Oh, good. It's not even a concentration spell. Excellent.
Yeah, all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed salutes, sort of chipperly. And of course, Mortis doesn't need to breathe either, so he's just like, sure, whatever. Although,
Can you hold your breath? Looks confused. I know they made me ask. Yeah. Eh. Alrighty, so we have it's Nox, Vale,
Mhm.
Rovin's going over.
Rovan, unfortunately, is not equipped to breathe in no atmosphere at the moment, so no.
Oh, okay. Rovin is staying behind. Alrighty. Let's see here. And
Actually,
Elnai,
Nia-
you are heading over?
Nia can't cast air bubble though, so it might just be Mortis.
Mortis is going over himself. Okay.
Oh, and compression's coming too.
And Compression's going over.
Friends.
You know, I
Good.
honestly never expected the lack of being able to breathe to be a good thing until this shit started being a problem.
Surprise.
Alrighty.
Apparently
So,
so.
you all head on over, taking the time to gently. When you get close enough, you'll notice that because the ship has been off, the gravitational effect is not currently in place. So you can technically float.
All right, so
Yeah, I'm walking.
Nox
Except
is,
for Vale, who's able to hold onto things with sticky fingers.
Nox is able to walk in 0G. Or maneuver in 0G.
I believe you guys can see yourselves at the bottom of the map.
Real.
I'm looking for traps and anything else that might be dangerous.
You see a large door that seems to open up towards the entrance in, but otherwise you can't see any traps at this time unless you go ahead and do a
24.
trap sense.
Nice.
24. Okay. You do not find that the door is trapped.
Yeah, I'm just keeping an eye out generally.
Okay. Well, you guys can progress to the door if you like.
Nox is going to give Vale hand signals, seeing that he cannot speak in space. Actually, what he's going to do, he's going to point at the chirp. No, damn it. Ooh, that's something I need to do. Text functions and chirps.
Are we really going to
Why don't you
invent
just go with
historical
like?
texting?
Why don't you like just work on telekinesis while you're at it?
I mean, that is a spell already.
Telepathy.
Ah. I mean, that's.
Nox is going to move towards the door, wherever that may be. At this really map.
I'm sorry. Say again. I apologize.
Wherever the door is, Nox is going. It's hard to see. Where is it on this map?
It is right. I have to technically talk out the door, but it's right there.
Perfect. Nox is going to point at Mortis and kind of give him the finger, like a beckoning finger.
Nope, too late. You flip him the bird.
Mortis,
You-
Mortis flips him off right back, but comes over.
Nox is going to just have this look of this exasperated side.
It would help if any of you could actually speak in this atmosphere.
You can't
Can't
either.
speak either.
Yeah, no one can talk without atmosphere. It's like there's no air to carry the sounds. You can like mouth words, but you can't hear each other.
That's why I need to make a text function on our chirps.
Or you just gotta let me go in alone.
I told actually that's not a terrible idea.
Yeah, no shit, eh?
I hadn't even thought of that one. That shit's
Time
gold.
for
How does Vale speak
texting.
normally?
Very angrily.
Very
Well,
angry.
Go on, she's.
I walked into that one. I was more concerned about the mechanics of her producing vocalizations.
I don't need to breathe.
But
That
having,
doesn't mean I don't still breathe.
well, that doesn't mean her lungs don't work. I think it's more so.
Yeah, exactly. Like the parts are functioning, they just aren't necessary.
Dude, there's something about not needing to breathe that makes you intrinsically want to.
Nox, as you go ahead and review the door, you do find that it does have a magical seal on it. Effectively, the magical seal is what controls the pressurized levers inside of the door to open and close. It would take you an Arcana check to undo this if you wish.
Would I know that if I were to undo this, I would depressurize the cabin inside? Or is this an airlock?
This would open up into an airlock.
Perfect. Okay, then he's going to look at Arcana. $25.
25. You go ahead and you hear the click. You hear a hiss. You go ahead and feel your Omni tool turn. You hear a large rusty sound on the inside. I don't have a rusty sound. You can make one up in your head, and effectively the pressurized pieces are moving, and the door opens.
Rusty.
Where's my cat? She needs to squeak.
Nox is going to quickly glance at the rustiness, but usher everyone to move.
I'm looking for traps. $18.
You head into what looks to be like an escape area. All of the pods are gone.
How recent does that look?
Nox is going to
guess-
bring his wrist up into his face, into his air bubble, and inform everyone. We have entered the ship. Sirs, we're unsure of any oxygen. Pods have been lost. Also,
But
Elnaya, you need to
go ahead.
Elnaya needs to move Mortis first.
Oh right, yeah, yes. I am having see some.
Sorry, Swan.
Oh, you're fine.
Hang on. Ah, yes. The lad is sort of here, as Lumos requested, for door purposes.
You move inside and see a clean hallway. You continue to float through your way in.
If Nox would it be known that if was there a depressurization? Was Nox aware of that when he activated the airlock?
There was no depressurization.
Long.
Vale's gonna hold out her hand and like let anybody who wants like a little bit more steady commentary and movement just grab onto her.
That might be Mortis because Nox and compression would be like. I know compression doesn't have this, but he lived with Nox in space for quite some time. I'd like to think compression has some sort of comfort in space. GM?
He knows what you know, or it follows by you. So if you're familiar with moving around in space, he equally can follow your actions as you built him to.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect. So yeah, so Nox will smile, kind of hold up his hand as a appreciate it, but we're good for now, maybe later, sort of thing. Or respectful decline.
Vale will just shrug. Offer her hand to Mortis.
Mortis takes it.
Cool. She's now dragging Mortis along as subtly and gently as she can be.
He's surprisingly calm about this, and even manages to, despite the fact that he's in mail and what have you, there's surprisingly little jingling. This man knows how to move with at least a little stealth.
Well, currently
He's very
he's
careful.
literally just being like yanked along with stealth, so hopefully it's stealthy simply by staying still.
He is moving with great care, and letting Vale do most of the picking of footing and what have you.
Nox will have his rifle ready. Let's continue further down.
Carry on, carry on.
This looks like an intersection there, Spawn. Is that what it is?
I am having to flip through my own notes here to look at what the hell I wrote, because I told you I only had so much time to do so.
Nobody's blaming you, sir.
Oh, thank you, ma'am. So you guys continue to head down. So this is where kind of like things got a little bit lazy for 4 seconds, but effectively you're looking at 2 meeting rooms. You'll see a couple scattered papers here and there. Kind of looks like some logs, but things are kind of just floating across.
Nox will do a perception check to see if there's like any blood, anything to put clues.
Okay, you can do an insight check.
6. Damn.
You will notice that as much chaos as you can see with the papers floating around, which is difficult to tell when there's 0 gravity, it's very clean in here. You have not found any bodies, and you don't find any blood.
So where then did everybody go?
Nox is going to motion for Bill to continue on.
What do I see? Traps, charms, issues, things.
You can do another trap check if you like.
12.
12 does not find any particular traps at this time. This is a clean hallway. You don't find anything of disturbance. The next area you enter into looks to be like a sleeping bay. You do see several pods that were just kind of sitting out. These are hyper sleeping chambers.
As opposed to coffee-free sleeping chambers.
Yes.
Vale's been on ships, guys.
Is Mortis moving up?
Yes.
He's
Mortis
attached
is-
to me, so yes.
Yep. Oh yeah, he is moving along with Vale. Yes. So let me just.
We
Sorry,
will
I
force
really bad
we will
at that.
force you, Sloth, to move your character, even if it's only so slowly.
Yeah. Sorry. brain move slow, but character move faster. He's a good boy. He's doing his best.
You also sound like he's a dog.
I don't know. He's just
Just the goodest boy.
he is a fine lad.
But yeah, the room is empty. You do notice what looks to be like another door on your right.
Right, I'm moving up to check that. Signs of life, signs of existence,
Fox is going to check out the pods.
long-term time ago.
The pods, which usually kind of fold into the ship, are left out, usually awaiting one of the couples to kind of climb in. These seem to be clean at the moment. You don't see any signs of struggle or any issues like that.
What about like hasty bed leaving?
I will say you see some blankets, but it's still difficult to tell with zero gravity what was supposed to be where.
Nox is going to bring the chirp up to his air bubble. Eris, you there?
Eris here.
Can you do a quick look on the outside of the ship? What sort of damage are we looking at?
There wasn't any damage on the outside of the ship, was there, Sean?
There was not.
No visual damage on the outside of the ship when we flew by.
Concerning. There doesn't seem to be signs of struggle or anything. Hard to identify if there's been any sort of injury sustained either. It's very well contained.
Keep searching. There's got to be a root cause of this somehow.
Agreed.
It's a lot of crew to basically disappear at this point with no damage.
Absolutely. Concerning. We'll get back to you in 10 minutes.
Vale's gonna come over and like gently poke her face into Nox's air bubble, or at least her mouth, and go, okay, can he potentially look on the outside and see if there was any, like, so if the outside's fine, is there any way he could potentially hack into the ship's systems and see if there was anything recent?
Nox will shake his head no, knowing that Vale can't. Essentially, Vale can speak into it, but she'd have to put her ear in, like, if I'm understanding air bubbles correct, these ones are very, very tight.
Picture I have of air bubble, and I have to like re-find the image here. So I'm pulling up a picture of a lady who has an air bubble, and it doesn't even touch her shoulders.
Yeah,
I'm picturing like Harry Potter, Goblet of Fire, underwater shit.
So I can drop an image real quickly, but if you check out lore, it's like that's how tight the air bubble is. It's like it's not even go over your entire shoulder.
It's enough.
Tight.
Yeah, it's close enough to like whisper into my ear, but you can't like stick your head and be like, "Oh, hi."
Yeah, no, that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just quite literally trying to like make you aware of something.
But you do find on this door that there does appear to be another arcane lock.
Nox is going to look at disarming it, or inquiring about it first.
What are you inquiring?
Essentially, what the intent of the lock is. That'd be a 19.
It does appear to just be another safety lock that has been engaged. Once again, this is to get the internal components to pull apart. And with a 19, you start to make some work on it. And after taking some time, you are able to eventually hear the grinding of the gears moving inside. Takes a minute, but eventually, as you finally hear a bit of a click, the door becomes unlocked.
Nox is going to open the door for us.
The moment you open the door, I need a reflex save from Vale. As you hear...
Vale's just going to push Mortis back.
Mortis sort of stumbles, but does move.
As a rapid amount of air seems to leave the room that you're actually at, And Vale, you're going to get hit with a large, massive door. And somewhere all the way down the hall, you hear the door that was to the outside slam closed.
Huh.
I'll take that damage.
Something sparky, something sparky, something sparky.
Does that mean that we are now in a low pressure environment?
You are now in a low pressure environment.
All right, Vale, you should be able to hear me now.
Oh, what a lovely change in pace, as opposed to miming.
Nox is going to raise his chirp up to into level.
It's 2 points of bludgeoning damage as this large metal door slams you back. Mostly it just kind of hits you in the side and the ribs.
Ow.
I don't have a slamming sound, but you can imagine that this door slams open with a rush of air.
The amount of times that that's actually happened to me IRL, yes, I can most certainly imagine, and my hip is already hurting.
Well, I advise you stay in the shadows. Maybe we'll be able to get anyone's attention in here. Nox is going to step forward with compression behind him.
You enter into this large room, which appears to be the cargo hold.
Job first.
Oh, damn.
Not you.
Which does appear to have to be the cargo hold. As you look around, you notice the cylinder-like pods, which stand about 4 feet high. And in the center of the room, you notice a large disc-like chamber, which you could step over top of. As you look up, you do see what looks like the power core of the unit. This is actually spellcraft. It is offline.
Again, concerning, but
okay. On the far end of the room, you do see a blinking, looks like almost like a blinking panel.
Right, I'm checking for traps first. Traps or issues or what the fuck, potential, like...
Something to consider, Vale, is arcane traps are definitely possible here, but standard traps such as tripwires and such would not really work well in a zero-G environment.
Darlin, cut me a little bit of credit here, and assume that my training also covers the arcane at least a little bit. Not to your level, but at least a little bit.
Fair enough.
22.
22. You go ahead and look around, and you notice this area does not seem to be having any particular traps. You look at each of these individual pillars that seems to stand and don't notice anything in particular about them except for a bit of a hatchway on top of each of them. You can't tell if maybe they are probably some form of old power cell that goes and moves around. Otherwise, the center does not appear to have any sort of latching mechanisms. You don't notice anything wrong with the power system above, with the dead orb effectively above you.
I'm unsure of your standard procedures, but personally for me, I would rather us search this area before turning the power on.
Ditto.
Not coming through.
These pods look like cargo, or... like, just feels odd.
One?
Other than the blinking panel on the opposite side, you don't see anything else of any action in this room.
Yeah, I'm gonna go invest one of those pods.
You go ahead and review over towards one of the cylinders. You do notice that on the top of it, it does seem to kind of like have a hatch-like component, similar to what you're seeing in the middle of the center. It's kind of that circle with the kind of swirly kind of look, but otherwise, there's nothing to look around it. They seem to be made of solid steel.
Get a look over my shoulder and just gesture at them and at Nox. you seen this?
I do see it indeed.
Have you seen this?
History check for Nox on this one.
You can.
And
No.
You know that some higher security Spelljammers put in more efforts to protect their cargo than others.
this is the standard. This is the cargo hold according to the designs I have glanced at. Very likely that these are just secure containment units for cargo, so that not easily stolen or at least pirated without having to cut the ship apart. Actually, Nox is going to use his all-purpose tool, and he is going to analyze the material around the base of these pods. Is it reinforced?
It is reinforced.
It does look like these pods are more or less bolted to this deck.
It does.
Yes. Judging by this, that's probably what they are more than likely. Now, whether they're holding cargo or human cargo, that is the question. I see a door over there, Vale. Can I make our way towards it?
Very well. Vale's gonna go very gently, not touching any of the pods or the circle, for a door.
Essentially, Nox and Compression are just going to kick off a wall and 0G through the air.
Mortis is going to just sort of moon bounce his way between the pods carefully as possible. Yeah. With a little extra jangling from his chain, and plate his way.
You approach over and see that there is a more complex arcane lock on this opposite side that seems to be attached to this door, and you also notice that the panel does seem to say something in Dower. I lied. Hold on. I have to revisit what specifically a Dower speaks, because it is not Dower. Dower is not a language. I lied. It's in Dower.
Fortunate, I do not understand this. Actually, Vale, do you have any suggestions?
I don't speak that language.
What will y'all do?
I'm gonna knock.
Guess we'll die.
You knock, and nothing seems to occur.
That's kind of what I assumed, but felt it needed to do something.
Hey, it was a good shot.
Nox is going to use his all-purpose tool and attempt to analyze the writing to see if he can possibly decipher. Essentially, he has a calligrapher tools, which allows him to try and study and decipher what the writing is. He may not be able to speak it, but he might actually be able to cross-reference what he has seen in the past.
Okay, give me a tool check.
Roll luck on that. Second, I think this would be a history, or would this be more of an intelligence check?
More of an intelligence,
Excellent.
because you're trying to get your multi-tool to kind of shift the system to pull the language into a different version.
21.
Okay, fair. You go ahead and play with the system for a little bit. It takes a while for the decoding to kind of work. It's not a perfect decoding, but you are able to pull the following parts.
Give me 1 sec.
Yes.
Vale, system offline, 23 days. Some airlock engaged. Filtration systems are offline. Device filtration purge. Would Knox know in his history what a filtration purge is?
That's cleaning the air system.
True, but if someone were in a room when a system was purged, what would happen to that person?
I don't have that.
The air's being cleaned, yeah? It's like being in a room with a plant.
Except what happens if the room is contaminated?
Feels like an excessive waste of air that you then need to figure out how to deal with chemically.
True, but the same. But if it was a viral agent?
There are still ways that you could filter that.
Knox,
People.
Yes, Eris.
how's it going over there? Any more progress?
We have found a cargo hold. We now have actual limited, low air pressure, so it's definitely not good for anyone without a bubble. But I can at least communicate now. We are at a door. System is offline. It's been offline for 23 days. It's not looking good in that. Airlock is engaged. Filtration systems are offline, and it's advising a purge. I can't recall what would happen if a system was purged. If it would damage any potential inhabitants.
Very sort of system purging would be, or basically cleaning the air systems. Where they have to possible airborne contaminant. It would basically vent air and reintroduce proper air.
What if there is no air to be reintroduced, or would would this ship actually have secondary air tanks?
Ships that are newer can be designed to have longer stays, and I say that on the behalf of Canon that some have emergency systems.
Right. It's up.
This ship may have secondary air systems that, even though it'll purge out the virus, it might clear the air. Nox is going to try and use his knowledge. Can he get the ship to do a scan of the air quality in the next room?
Not from this panel.
What if he were to jury rig it? What if he was to possibly rip off the panel, work with the wiring system, and try and splice into another system?
So you want to do a scan.
Yes, a localized scan into the next room. Ah,
Okay.
I'm testing your skills on this one.
I know, I'm trying to think. Okay.
The only reason I suggest this is because Nox is an artificer. Otherwise, I wouldn't have even thought this possible.
Nice. Nice.
What check are you looking for this?
I guess it'd be another tool check.
Intelligence, I guess?
Yes.
23.
Knox, pending that purge, was there any oxygen left in the system?
I will look into that. Good question. I'm currently trying to do a scan on the air quality in the next room. Just trying to...
that.
Ah, fuck! I'm good. Just sparks and shorted something out, maybe. Not?
Be careful. Be careful. He is like listening in because she is one part nosy to one part concerned about everyone.
For me to do any sort of scans, I need to turn the ship's power back on. GM, with this if Nox were to turn the power core back on, would that bring the air bubble back on?
Was to get the scan going.
Pardon?
This was to get a scan to operate.
True, but okay, so saying a power restart, I was thinking it meant like the power core has to be turned back on. Doesn't need the power.
Yes.
Okay. And if that power core were to turn on, would that re-engage the bubble?
There would be more prompts.
Eris, before I can do anything further, it's requiring the power to be turned back on. I am concerned that we may be dealing with something viral in the next room, or we might be dealing with people dying.
Well, if you do bring the power back on, try and bring it back onto low power. That way, not engaging the entire ship all at once. Try and localize your sectors.
Good point. Good point. Okay, well, Nox is going to hit. Yes.
Stay away from any open doors in case there are pressurization. Not get blown about.
We did have them.
What was that?
That would be the ship coming back to life, my dear.
Vale's hand is twitching toward her bracer.
Keep on the ready.
Do I get any air bubble connection now?
Not get a air bubble yet.
I have no confirmation on air bubble yet there. I'm still only running my own.
A firm current status. The machine is working on booting up. I'll let you know. This music. Nox is going to do system scan. Unless it's still processing.
If you want.
Pardon?
So you're doing a system scan.
Yeah. Devised working on a scan as we speak. I'll let you know.
As the scan proceeds from the top, you watch as it almost kind of looks like a large kind of wall-like form come down from the spellcraft orb in the center. And you see it kind of circles around counterclockwise from the top around. It is going through the door, passing through. And when it touches you,
Shit, we have intruders! We're hostiles!
Power down the system.
Nox is going to attempt to overwrite and add 4 new profiles into the as allowed. Is that another
hold on, I gotta type a lot of things.
Okay, gotcha. That's not a problem. I just set off the alarms. Also, Nox has just put his chirp on always on for the moment.
Mortis has his sword out and is just looking a little bit alarmed because this is well, in as much as he can look alarmed, he looks a trifle alarmed.
They'll be
Do we
ready.
get those profiles in, Nox, or are you going to shut down the system to cut off that alarm?
I think the security system is on us. I'm going to try and overwrite. Vale, get ready to cover us. Compression, set up defensive perimeter.
From the tubes that are in the centers of the room, you notice multiple drones seem to come out. You could do a history check.
Yes.
I'm just gonna start throwing things.
A 16. So these are called. Hold on, tiny gremlin. I am coming.
Gobbling.
Hold on.
That sounds exactly
The-
like me talking to my cat.
Oh
Tiny
my
spicy
gosh. Hold on. Here. There you go. I know. I got you.
Tiny
I
spicy
got you.
peppercorn.
Okay, you're fine. So I will go ahead and say what you are looking at coming out from these large tubes are something called clockwork horrors. And they are not nice.
Lovely.
Uh-oh.
Clockwork horrors are ruthless insectile automatons, eldritch machines encased in adamantium and some other precious metals. They roam wild space and commandeering spell jamming ships, gathering precious metals, crystals, and needing to build more of their kind. Clockwork horrors have no goal beyond replication and will stop at nothing to recreate new horrors. The time it takes for a clockwork horror to build its own kind, assuming it has the requisite materials, is within 10 days. It is over 2 feet in diameter, and their legs give it the overall diameter of 4 feet. Embedded in its head is a crystal that allows the clockwork horror to see. They communicate through means of clicks, whirls, and similar small sounds, similar to that of the thri-kreen. When another creature... Nope, that's mine. But you see several of them start to pull themselves out of the pods as they open up. I will also go ahead.
Resources.
I will go ahead and also say that as those open up, I will go ahead and move you away, and you guys aren't here. As you see several of them leaving the top of the ship, and congratulations, away crew, you have company.
Oh no.
And all of y'all are going to start rolling initiatives, and we will take care of that at next session.
Nox
I'm
is.
going to come. Sorry.
I was going to say Nox
Coming
is, as soon as he sees it, is going to yell, "Eris, disengage! Leave us! This thing is infested."
We'll disengage, but I have some on the coming toward the ship itself as currently. Dag, proceed to prepare for repel incoming boarding party. Although party members report to the top, prepare to repel incoming.
Nia's
Oh,
like,
we're gonna
oh,
Cut
fuck.
the grappling for now. Let's not let them any more on here. Deal with what we have.
And that's where we'll take place next time we get here.
Oh god.
You want initiative now, Sean, or when we start?
Yeah, go ahead and do
Okay.
initiative now. I'll have it in place before next time.
Oh lord.
5. Nope, sorry, 10.
Alright.
Oh, everyone's rolling low.
Yeah. Oh!
Good thing I'm flying the
Oh,
ship, because
no.
damn, son.
You know, this seems to be a trend. Like, we are all following each other's.
I will have a better
Spencer,
screen, by the
that's
way,
Mia.
for... I will have a better screen for y'all, by the way, when y'all come back next. I didn't have one for the moment. Mortis got a 16. Wow, look at
No,
Mortis.
Nia got a 16. Mortis
Nia,
got
Nia,
Nia
a
got a 12.
16?
14.
Nia is actually faster
So,
than one.
I don't know, have any of you ever watched... I think it's called Stargate.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
Are
I've
you-
heard of it, but I have not actually seen it.
God damn replicators.
Have y'all ever seen The Replicants?
Replicators.
Yeah, same
Heard of 'em.
concept.
Shit.
Oh no. Concern.
Two. Who am I missing? 1, 2, 3. I'm missing Veils.
14.
Veils of 14.
Very nice.
But yeah. Yeah. And the door isn't open still.
That's okay. Now he knows why it wasn't opened.
Oh no.
Well, you on a side that would have happened. There were a few more prompts and things I had prepared, but there was a way technically to open it without turning that on. But I was just gonna keep poking fun to see what you were gonna do, and then I was like, well, guess we're gonna turn on the scan feature.
Guess we'll die.
Yeah, I didn't even think of this thing having a security system on board. Like,
Uh-oh.
This isn't a fucking security system. This is an infestation.
no, but well, kind of. The fact also that it recognized me too.
Recognize.
That part
Oh
I missed.
no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Private messages.
Uh-oh, your brother is a bastard.
Not penguin, not friend.
Yeah.
Not the penguins.
So, any thoughts, feelings, ideas, concepts? How was the game? Was it okay?
Great game.
Always delightful, my dude. Always delightful. I am
I've
having
eaten
such a
too
good time
much.
with this.
You've eaten too much.
We made homemade pizza.
Oh, okay. I was like, well,
Understand.
yes, I know that the dragon went down your throat, but I mean, technically, you didn't eat him.
She is spiritually stuffed.
Falcon,
That is
Drew.
not better. That is not better. You're fucked. Stop.
What?
No complaints here.
So just did we set a game already for the other campaign? Did we pick a day?
Ooh, I don't think we have.
Because I'm going to take the opportunity now. If we have it.
Wait, I remember. Oh no, we haven't yet. I was thinking back. Okay, I remember one of our games was like, hey, do we want to arrange the next game? And that was the Tuesday game. But I don't think we planned a Tuesday game after Tuesday. Have we, guys?
Oh, interesting. That doesn't say much.
So my next work day is Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and Thursday night. So I have Friday, Saturday, and those are the two I know of this week. Are either of those good for y'all?
Friday and Saturday are good for me.
As far as now, I'm open.
Yeah, you people and your schedules.
Hey,
Shut
look,
up,
I don't know what happens after that. Okay, they haven't told me my new schedule yet.
Dude, you have no idea. As of yesterday, I was supposed to be up north. I was supposed to have driven up north at 5 a.m. this morning.
What happened?
They blew up the well.
Something
The
bad.
fuck? How'd that happen? Is everyone okay?
I don't think it was a catastrophic. It was some sort of major failure or fault in the well, so they've actually abandoned it.
Oh,
Yikes, that's
Ouch.
not a good thing. That's not a normal thing either.
It's a good thing because I get to stay home and play D&D.
When you put it like that, we can't really argue.
No, not at all.
I wasn't planning on arguing. I was just worried about catastrophic failures involving
Yeah.
wells.
and then we
More or
left
less.
it alone. Man, we can't do this. What are we gonna do? Well, it's fine. The neighbor boy will get it. But yeah. So we will cover this next game. But thank you all so much for
Hey.
playing. I appreciate it. We're gonna have a very
Always
exciting
enjoyable,
next
my guy.
match.
Always very enjoyable.
Oh hell yeah.
Very enjoyable.
I'm
There were-
honestly like freaking I'm really looking forward to the idea that every single one of those fucks we kill is just resources.
Yeah, and it's now Nox's
yeah.
turn. It's now Nox and Vale once again fighting off the incoming horde.
Well,
there
this
too.
time we have a dragon too, and he's probably a little bored, so he'll be enjoying the fact that he can unleash fire on everything.
Ooh, I have new horns too.
I probably won't be pollinated explosive.
Headbutt the butthead.
Allergic, that's the word.
Helpful.
Fascinating.
I release y'all to the night. I hope everyone has a good night.
Have a good one.
Will do.